What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Today, I'm going to talk about Cathy. I know that a lot of people have already did lives on her, and I want to bring my own perspective about what I feel about Cathy. Now, for those that don't know who she is a YouTuber. I believe she's on Instagram and other platforms, but she is a advocate for this go back to Africa. She's been preaching and teaching this go back to Africa probably about 5 years or so. And she made mention that America is doomed. All is going to shit in America, and that we as Black Americans need to level up and come to Africa and get involved with opportunities that are there, supposedly. I kind of start watching Cathy a little bit late in the game. I know I heard her name around in the Gambia, and when she had issues with the Gambians because she was calling them out and saying like really fucked up stuff about what they do, how they move and whatnot. She then became on my radar. And then I believe she was attacked by a lady, punched in the face, I believe, to where she ended up leaving the Gambia and going back to America. And then she kind of disappeared for a while. And then when she came back, I noticed she went to Ghana. And then she kind of reinvented herself, and she came back again with the full-fledged conversation of going to Africa and forgetting about America, and all hope is done in America, and, you know, white supremacy this and white supremacy that, and all these types of things. The type of things that a lot of hustlers use, the tools to try to emotionally get to Black Americans and make us feel inadequate in America. And so I started not to really care for her when she started talking real bad about America, as I do with all Pan-Africans. I think the only one that I don't have these ill will feelings about would be ES from DIY Farm and House. I think she changed the platform's name to House and Farm, or Farm and House. Anyway, shout out to ES if you are listening. And the thing that I liked about ES primarily is because she just did her thing. She did not have anything negative to say about America, nor was she trying to influence, in my mind, from the videos that I saw. She was not trying to influence us to come to Africa. She was just living her best life, showing her projects, what she was doing and how she was moving. And she just left it at that. If you were influenced by how she lived, you contacted her behind the scenes and whatnot. Maybe you got on her Patreon and whatnot. But she didn't blast America like our Cathy and others tend to do. And so we're going to talk about our Cathy. What's up, Ben? How are you doing? What's up, Pinky? Thank you for coming through, and everybody that's here and in the clouds. I'm probably going to slow down really more on YouTube after this live. I'm kind of more than burnt out. I think that I have run out of a lot of topics to talk about. I've been on here, you guys, since 2018. And anybody that knew me from my first channel, I was really going hard in the paint, talking and doing videos. And also this second channel, I have done a lot of videos as well. And I really am feeling like I'm losing out on what to conversate about. I don't want to talk about Trump like I have been talking about Trump, because again, in my mind, since he's outright lied about the so-called white genocide of the South Afrikaners, I cannot rock with him the way that I had been rocking with him before. So if I do disappear for a time, just know whenever I do come back on, primarily it will be on Sunday. And it will be when I have something more to talk about. So just that you guys know, if I just disappear, nothing's wrong or anything like that. I just don't want to keep talking about Africans as much anymore. I think that I've made my claim and stated my points about Africans or Pan-Africans and Dr. Ericana and, people that are not really for us overall. We're on our own, y'all. As Black Americans, we are on our own. And we are the ones that are being targeted the most with a lot of different things, as y'all know, whether it's Pan-African talk or all the things that's going on social media. It's always referencing Black Americans and what we're doing right now. I just looked at Afreeca's stupid ass video and it's claimed that we are claiming white supremacy. We're all this type of bullshit talk because he's mad that we're not worshiping Africans in Africa. That's what it all boils down to when Africans attack us, because we're not caring about what they want us to care about. And I made this point over and over and over again. We're not going to worship Africans. We're not going to worship Africa. I can respect a few of y'all, but most of y'all, I don't give a flying fuck about you. And that is the bottom line. And that's the mindset of many, many, and plenty millions of us feel about Africans. We don't hate you, but we don't care for you either, like that. And I don't want to spend my whole summer talking about Africans like I have been. I want to kind of get off of talking about them, and I want to free myself from the bondage I feel that has come over me dealing with YouTube consistently. And I'm going to free myself up and work on myself more, work out more, and do other things that are benefiting me personally. I'm just letting y'all know this, that when I disappear, it's not because something's wrong. It's just that I'm freed up from YouTube. But getting back to what I'm going to talk about, our Cathy has been a very big voice to a lot of women. I know K&K Squad has mentioned that she influenced her to go to Africa. And I knew that our Cathy was in the hospital. I did see that video, which we're going to go over. And I was thinking to myself, like, is this going to be deja vu again with her needing to go back to America? And lo and behold, days later, she posted she wants a GoFundMe, or she has a GoFundMe, where she's asking for $80,000 to, guess what, return to America. Sorry about that. It kicked me off. So this is what reminded me of Anja, Afreeca, because I remember Anja, Afreeca did a really serious video about a year or so ago, where she was talking about being stalked, saying that marabou and witchcraft was being used on her. She was fearful of her life, of being poisoned, and other things such as that, as you guys know. And, I got really triggered by singing Anja, Afreeca in such a way. I reached out on my YouTube, and also Kiki Loves Nigeria also reached out, and we try to get people to go check on her to help her. And nobody listened. Everybody just looked at us like we were chickens with our heads cut off, saying that we were being overreactive and doing too much and all these things. And then it was serious. She did lose her life, and she needed to go back. Well, before she lost her life, they were saying that she needed to go back to America for medical serious emergency and complications that she was having. She could have been helped, in my opinion, if she was reached out maybe a month or two before the crazy medical situation that arose with her in the Gambia. But no one listened to our cries. No one cared about what she was saying in her desperations on her videos. And she ended up losing her life. And she ended up being buried in the Gambia. And it was such a scary and sad situation. It really rattled me for a long time about that. And then this situation where our Cathy is kind of reminded me of Anja, Afreeca, and is reminding me of, all these people that are talking so ill will about America. The very place that you talk so bad about is the last place you want to go back to be assisted when a health scare comes up. So we're going to talk about that today. I want to show some videos of Art Cathy when she was healthier, so that you guys can kind of know the kind of stuff that she would say. And then we're going to look at the hospital stay video. I know that Tay Travel with Tay did a live yesterday, and wow, she just went in. I might show a little bit of that as well. She did happen to have a guest on who knows Art Cathy very well, and he alleged that Art Cathy has been scamming for a long time, that she was doing like hookup type of scam where, she was dating somebody, trying to look like a power couple, trying to act like she knew how to get other people to meet up and get involved in, I guess, relationships, couple relationships. But she was not really what she was presenting. She was playing the part, but she wasn't the part. And so I don't know if she's scamming now. I know that a lot of people are speculating that this could be real, this couldn't be real. She could possibly be scamming. I don't know. I just know that, it's sad to have been diagnosed with cancer. And I do know that colon cancer is, if it's not caught early, it's pretty much a sure death. So I don't know how far along she has this cancer. She said, or someone said, that it spread to the liver. So I don't know if she's going to be able to make it or not. I'm going to pray for her and hope that she does somehow survive. But, I don't know. But let's start with her introduction of her. This first video I want to show is called America is a Scam. The world hates poor Black women. This was a live she did from her IG. And this kind of tells you who she was or who she is, on YouTube, on social media. Now, one thing I would say about her, I think she's from Atlanta, Georgia. And, she has this, like pizzazz about her. I don't know if it's the countryside of her that brings that to her, but, it's very alluring. Is very potent, I would say. And I think her personality, it also helps her to attract a lot of people to maybe listen to her and try to do what she does. But this is the first video I want to go through. Please like the video if you have not yet. All videos that I show will be under the Copyright Act of 1976 for education. Also information, commentary, research, and entertainment, all the above, not meaning to impose, but to inform and enlighten on what is going on with our Cathy and her dilemma that she's facing right now. And this video was about a year ago. So, 5 months ago, 5 months ago. So we're going to look at this first and see. XDMC, how are you? You said if she has colon cancer that spreads to the liver, that's stage 4, very low survival rate, less than a year to live from stage 4 diagnosis for most. Wow, that's sad. And Pinky says return to America for medical care. Exactly. And Pinky also says Afreeca still around. No one can find him. We thought he got a free ride home. I know. Yes, I know. He did a live yesterday, of course, bringing us up as he always does, like he doesn't know anything else to talk about. There's plenty of things to talk about when it comes to Africa, but he's fixated on trying to make himself feel better, make the Africans feel better about themselves by talking shit about us. That's what he does. And that's why I can't stand Afreeca. You said, I've always known we were alone. I'm happy more of my people are acknowledging it. Yes, we're definitely alone. There is nobody here for us. Pinky says, go to your sister's channel and Knowledge Uprising has conversations with them. Okay. And you've been going hard for a while. I know. And I cannot continue to do what I've been doing anymore. I cannot. You said America has no more problems than other countries. Our problems are usually from newcomers, Pinky says. And yes, please slap that like button. We're really going to go in on this topic. I am not going to try to mock our Cathy, even though I feel, kind of messed up for her from talking all this stuff against America, and the very place that you were talking bad on is the very place you need the most when you're in trouble. And the irony of it is just alarming. So that's what I'll say is very ironic, and it's very sad at the same time And I knew somebody that had colon cancer before a couple of times. One survived it because she was an elderly lady. She went and did a colonoscopy and she detected it early, and they were able to save her. But the other person that was in her family, I believe, nephew, he caught it, but he did not go to the doctor like many men don't do. And I've been talking to men about going to get checkups, especially HIV, because y'all never like to go to the doctor until it's too late. And he went to the doctor and it was too late. He was in his 50s, I believe like 56, 57. And within a few months after diagnosis, he passed away from colon cancer. So this is a very serious diagnosis of our Cathy. So it is a serious topic today. So let's get to the first video, fair use.
What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Look, I gotta talk about something today, honey. I want y'all to come on in here. Come on up in here, honey. Ladies, did y'all get the memo about the red lip? Because I'm about to be red lip down for the rest of the year, okay? Red lip for the rest of the year. Come on in here, y'all. Oh, I didn't even title this video because I'm really kind of going off the cuff, you know what I mean? But thanks to everybody coming in. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody. Look, I love this little light. Do y'all see my red lip? Give me some hearts for my red lip. Can y'all give me hearts for my red lip at least? Don't be a hater. Don't call my page to be a hater. Love my red lip, damn it. I'm just playing, y'all. Thank you for being here. I want to talk about something pretty serious. Thank you for the loves, first of all. I'm still celebrating my birthday all month long. Okay. This video is probably going to trigger a lot of people because I want to talk about how America is a scam. I've had people accuse me of being a scammer so much. It's almost becoming like comedy, for real. But for those of you that have heard that a lot about don't get caught up in the hype of Africa and this and that, I'll be like really laughing at y'all for real because it's like, do you not realize how big of a scam America is? I will never have to worry about my rent again. And y'all over there having to worry about y'all rent. There are places over here sitting up $199 for 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms for $199 a month, $99 a month for nice studios close to the beach. And people over in America are sitting up there suffering every month, broke, house broke because of this American dream because you don't think that there is something better. And that's why I'm like, wow, to hear people that full of cognitive dissonance where they want to project like I'm a scammer, but you sit up in the most scammiest place of all, which is America, honey.
Again, this is her forte. This is what she gets her bread and butter from. Always downing America. And this was 5 months ago. She doesn't look sick here. She actually looks better, I think, in this video than I have seen her in a while. But again, always degrading America. And the scamming is not just one or two people that have accused our Cathy of scamming. There have been a slew of people that I have heard in the comment sections. Of course, Travel with Tay Tay is the most vocal about it. She's been on this conversation for about 5 years or so, Travel with Tay Tay. And I tend to believe Travel with Tay Tay. I don't think somebody that's going to lie is going to spend 5 years telling the same story in different ways of saying the same thing. Travel with Tay Tay has been very emotional about being scammed out of $16,000. She swears that Art Cathy and Kwesi Boyd took her investment. And when I think of investment, I think that it should be towards something that you can use or a return of money somehow coming back to you. If you give your money, cold cash, over to somebody and they just use that money to support themselves, that's not what you had in mind when you invest into something. You invest into something in hopes to utilize whatever situation, Airbnb or the land that you purchase or whatever's supposed to be built. You're supposed to get some type of benefit from it. You're not supposed to just fork the money over to a couple of people that say they're going to do this and say they're going to do that, and their story doesn't pan out. They end up taking your money and using it to benefit themselves, and you're just ghosted. That's what Travel with Tay Tay has basically stated has happened to her. She gave up $16,000. She was ghosted by Quasi Boyd and Art Cathy. She was told one thing and they did another thing. They took her money and just used it to support themselves in the Gambia. And she was left high and dry without her money and without no purpose of giving up the money. And that's why she's so upset to this day. You can hear her anger as early as yesterday, talking on it. And we'll get to that a little bit later in the live. And I tend to believe Tay Tay. She, $16,000 is nothing to sneeze over. A lot of people act like, oh, well, you gave up your money, get over it. I would be hella pissed if it was me. So I'm not going to doubt Travel with Tay Tay's assertion. Please check out her live if you guys did not check it out. The portion that I will showcase a little bit later will not be a big enough portion of the video, but I think she has a lot of information on her video that you guys could glean and decide whether or not you feel she was scammed or not. But again, she is asserting that Art Cathy is the main culprit along with Quasi Boyd. That's the name she's been calling out. And she is mentioning that she's been called a scammer, and she's not lying. Let's go.
You can't even get your teeth done less than $40,000. I got an implant done the other day. You can watch the videos. I'm documenting everything. The implant here was $49. Temporary, a regular implant costs you about $500 to $900. Over in the States, it costs you $3,500, $7,500 for an implant. And you got to go to work and be house broke all the time. And you live somewhere where you're not even safe. But I'm the scammer. I'm telling you, like, it's become synonymous. I have seen people say the craziest shit about people moving to Africa, helping y'all move over here, which I'm going to stop that. I told people this in the beginning. I'm not going to keep helping these niggas over here because everybody don't deserve to be here. If you think it's too good to be true, good. Stay over there. Like, for real. Stay the hell in America, man, because they've got people so brainwashed that they don't even think that there could be anything else that could be halfway good or great. Let me read you something I saw, y'all. And this is real because this is the way I can live my life now. I don't have to be stressed out about rent. When you're a woman, single woman, you didn't come from like a whole lot of money and all this kind of stuff. You have to have money and resources. And without it, life is pretty inconvenient overall. But this is what this post said. It said, the world hates poor women. The world hates when you're a woman without cash because they see you as a burden. The best treatment a woman will receive from both men and women is when she has money and resources. Go ahead, put some fires in the chat because you know that that's real. The last part, the best treatment a woman will ever receive is from both men and women is when she has money and resources. See, when I was in America, I went through that eviction shit. I went through the struggle for rent. I went through not having somebody to damn take care of me and all that shit in fantasies. We learned, ladies, the patriarchy will make you very dependent on a man or dependent on the idea that you don't only have value by yourself, you only can have value and real worth as a woman when you have a husband. So I've learned some new shit coming to Africa, being away from the economic struggle. And the thing I've seen is that people are so full of calling it business, they really feel like that we over here scamming folks and that there's a hype about Africa when the biggest hype and the biggest scam of all is people still, who want to move to America? I honestly, let me just be real. I feel sorry for people that have to live in America, not only America, but New York. Places like New York, I really honestly be feeling, I've always felt sorry for people that had to live in New York, but like people that have to live in New York nowadays with the rent, like really? Really? For real, y'all?
So that's that video. Again, she talked about America being a scam. She talked about the rent being so high and how much it is so better to be in Africa, having cheaper rent, cheaper opportunities, you know, being around people that look like you. All this type of conversation she's been trying to brainwash us into believing, and come to think, you know, 5 months later, it all turns upside down for her. It all changed. Let me see what you guys are saying. Pinky says travel with Tay Tay was investing a resort. My first video of her, another woman was talking her around to look, or taking her around to look at the building Quasi and Art were claiming to renovate. Yes, they claimed they were going to renovate. And I guess she thought that resort, if it was going to be really renovated, she would be able to have access to the resort whenever she came into town, whenever she came to the Gambia. Her investment would allow her to be able to utilize that resort as she needed. That's what she envisioned, I believe, that was going to happen for her. And that didn't happen at all. They took that money and ran. That's my opinion from what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, and how I'm feeling. And that's why I say to my people, don't give your heart cold cash to these people living in the Gambia, living in Africa, because all they're going to do is take that money and live their better life off of your so-called investment, and you're not going to get nothing behind it. You're going to be asked out and made to look silly and pissed. Pinky says, what the hell is she talking about? No husband in any African country, you're going to be treated worse. Exactly. This is the facade that's always coming to us about Africa, that Africans are better than us. They treat people better. They're more decent. They have more morals. They have standards, this and that and the other. But if you research and you watch other people's experiences and what they go through, it's not true. There ain't no benefit. There ain't no bettering that's happening going to Africa. You're getting your feelings hurt, and you are ultimately being let down and deserted by the African. And whatever you build, whenever it's all said and done, and you get kicked out on your ear, it goes to the Africans. And you have nothing to show for. That's why I'm so scared for ES from DIY Farming House, because she has helped contribute a lot of money towards projects that she's helped build. And if she falls out with Venman and he has her leave, she walks away with nothing. Absolutely nothing. And I just don't understand why we keep believing the hype of getting so much more in Africa. No, you're going to be giving that up to the African when it's all said and done, and your American ass is going to be going back to America with nothing. So this dream, this facade of this go back to Africa is just that, a facade and a dream, a delusion. And we all keep hearing people like Kala and other people preaching and lying that they're going to build something in Africa. And they know damn well they're not going to bust their grape to build shit, because they're requiring your millions of dollars to be given over to them to so-called build. They're not building shit. They're building a facade, a dream, a lie, and preaching this every single day. And for the ones that believe in them, it's sad. It is really, really pathetic and sad. XDMC says, Anja told me out of her own mouth that Gambian stole from her store all the time. Even the person she hired to work for her. I'm still feeling way that she had to pass over there. F the Gambia. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm glad she was able to tell her truth, though, XDMC, before it was all said and done, because, you know, that gave us the confirmation that was needed about a lot of these people that are bigging up Africans on pedestals. And I'm saying not all Africans are bad, because not all are, but the ones that are there in Africa look to you to get what you got. That's what they're doing. They're looking to get what you got. I remember the story of Inez Finland. Shout out to her if she's listening. She's also in the Ghana. And she was talking about, she loaned somebody some money, a lady there from Africa in Ghana. And this person took the money and never paid it back. And when Inez went to take her to court, this lady tried to use a text message with a different amount, you know, trying to ask her what something meant in CDs. And she texted back, and she tried to use what she texted back as being the amount of money that Inez loaned her, when that was not what she loaned her. She was just trying to get in her phone a different number of calculation to show to the court on her phone. This is what I owe. This is what I owe her. I don't owe her 500 or five. I forgot how much money it was. I don't know if it was 500 or 5,000 or whatever it was. But she tried to trick her into giving another number that she then took to court in her phone and said, this is what I took from her. See, she texted back to me. So they're very sneaky, very deceitful. They feel entitled to our money. And Inez Finland is still in Ghana, and I don't understand how she's been there for so long. She keeps having issues. She keeps going to court. It's really a messed up situation. But everywhere you go, they're having issues. If it's not court, they're being stolen from. If it's not that, they're having health issues. All these issues that keep coming up, going to Africa, putting all that money and effort into having faith in people that are looking to take from you. It's sad. So now we're going to look at Cathy in her latest video. This video is about her being in the hospital. And we're going to look at this video. I saw it before, and I was thinking to myself, I wonder if this is going to turn into something else, and it did. But let's look at this real quick. And she was trying to be brave and keep a good face about the video. But let's check it out.
Girl, we in here live. Drink my water. I know y'all ain't used to this. Go on, come in here. Girl, we at the hospital, girl. We at the hospital. Go on here, come in here. I never thought I'd be one of them people to go live when they're in the hospital. But I'm doing it. Let me tell y'all something about Ghana. I think I done fallen in love with Ghana all over again. And I'm not doped up. They got me on the good stuff. I got morphine. I'm going to tell y'all what's going on. Because something about being sick, it just, makes you get real. But, yeah, I appreciate Ghana. I appreciate Ghana so much because they got me on the best food. I was initially scared at first because I didn't know what the experience would be like, how different it is from America. But I'm so pleased with the staff, with everybody, with how things are going. And they have very good food. Like, I'm really pleased with everything so far. So, if you're thinking about moving here, for sure, I would definitely say go to Banks Hospital. Is the best. Think about money, where the money is. So Banks Hospital in Cantonment, which is the upscale part of town. I highly recommend this place. Let me show y'all what we got. They got fresh watermelon juice, okay? We got a chicken stew. Y'all see this chicken stew? And they got rice. They got a lot of rice in here. But the food's good. Everybody's been treating me amazing. I'm dealing with a health crisis right now, and being an herbalist is very humbling to go through the things that I've been talking about for years, and how to reverse cancer and how to reverse this disease, how to reverse that disease. I'm having to do those things for myself right now, but the pain was really so great that I needed to come in. I hope y'all can hear me okay. But this ain't a pity video. It's important because I think people see me being so strong all the time. And when you're living in a foreign country, it's important to have faith in their medical system. I was scared as hell to come to an African hospital. I'm not gonna even lie. Like, y'all want to know, what it's like, the doctors and stuff like that. Yeah, like, you want to be able to have and put your faith and your trust in, a medical facility that you can really rely in and feel like it's gonna be good. So this one's been great. I hope everybody else is good out there. Take care of your health. Don't let stress get to you. I've let stress get to my body. At 43 years old, I'm dealing with the effects of stress. And something about your mortality, you just lose your fear. So I don't have a lot of fear anymore about, talking about things and being honest and real. But this is how it is, y'all. I'm sitting here really doped up on this morphine. It's not giving me the loopiness. It just took the pain away. So it doesn't give you like that euphoria high. But I wanted to tell you guys that if you are considering moving to Ghana and if you are looking for medical facilities right now, check out Banks Hospital. Banks Hospital is...
And this is ironic because, she wants to get back to America for medical reasons. If it's such a good hospital, why not stay and let Ghana fix you? So, she says one thing, but she's really not meaning it because her post is saying she wants to go back to America. And we'll get to that in a little bit, but this is kind of, not right. If it's a good hospital in Ghana, then they should be able to help you with your situation in Ghana.
The best is in Cantonment. You can pay with cash or insurance. You do have insurance options here too. So if you have questions about that, you can definitely hit us up. Go to getthefuckoutofamerica.com. If you're thinking about moving to Ghana, you want relocation services. For those of y'all just joined me, yes, girl, I'm in the hospital. But thank God, girl, the air conditioning on. I didn't know what these hospitals was going to be looking like in Ghana for real. I really didn't, because I had an emergency surgery in the States in 2023. It was an abdominal surgery, and maybe y'all haven't heard me talk about that, but it was an emergency surgery. I had to get cut on in my stomach and, remove a blockage. So Some complications with that have come back up, and it caused me a lot of pain. So this was my first time really seeking out medical attention, real medical attention, and having to be admitted here. But I'm not as scared anymore. The staff has been great. I love Ghanaians. I'm sorry. It's something about y'all so charming. It's something so charming about Ghanaian people. They just make you want to love them. The staff has been wonderful to me. They have been absolutely wonderful. Africans got a different vibe about them. It hits different, and you can tell they give a damn here in this hospital. They really give a fuck about how you feel. So I've had people ask me, what about the hospital's dentist? I've gone through the dentist experience here. I've gone through now the hospital experience, and I have a personal doctor. Shout out to Dr. Bola. She's been helping me. And shout out to the tourists. She's a tourist, May 4th tourist. I don't know what it is, tourist season. She's helping me. So put some love in the chat for Dr. Bola, my tourists out there. Shout out to y'all. I appreciate all of my friends here in Ghana, my friends, family that's been sending me prayers to get me through this. But as a Sagittarius, we don't really be weak like that. You know, we're very strong people, and we don't like to really tell people when we're going through anything. But it's important to show people that you're a real person. You know, and shout out to everybody joining me. Kimberly, Tobias, Patrice. This is so humbling too, by the way. It's made me really think about life so much different. But the care that I've received here so far has been top tier. Top tier. The food, like I said, we got fresh chicken soup, this fresh watermelon juice, which I'm about to mess with. I didn't get a straw. See, I don't really care about getting straws like that. And fresh watermelon juice, fresh fruit. But yeah, this has been definitely an experience for me. So for those of y'all that were wondering about Ghana's medical system, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. And go to Banks. You can remember it.
So she's saying that it is amazing at the Bank Hospital. Very interesting. Engine Radio says, is this a tether acting like she's an American Negro woman? The hair gives it away, and the overly smacking she does. Oh, Lord. No, she is a Black American from Atlanta, Georgia. You can hear the Southern accent in her. She's definitely one of us. You said a lot of these Caribbeans be going over there a lot. Okay, and Pinky says, if medical care is so good, why do the rich go to Europe for medical care? Exactly. Engine Radio says, and Africans that are returned to Africa, but they be like second and third generations going back and then act like us. But the Africans there look at them as Yankees now. Okay. You also says, I don't care. I don't think, what, IDK, what does K mean? She gives me second or third generation vibes. They are identical to us by that time. You can't even tell difference really unless you know their actual family or genealogy. Is pretty scary. No, I think she's really a Black American. Engine Radio. Not everybody that is on here is cosplaying as us. They are us. Unfortunately, she is one of us, talking again against America all the time, and now her tone has changed. Pinky says she's one of us. I've watched her for years. Exactly. And Engine is not letting go. He really believes that her family's from the island. Oh, wow. Okay. Yes. It's just crazy. I've seen it firsthand. That's why I always say us movie when I mention them. It's literally like that with them. They turn to carbon copies. They can even mimic the accent. Okay. Oh, you don't know? All right. She knows her best medical care will be here in the States. Exactly. Now I'm going to go to her post real quick. Art Cathy. And this I found out from K&K Squad. She had mentioned it in a little short she did. Otherwise, I wouldn't have known that she had a a GoFundMe. But it says 6 days ago, it's been quiet because I'm healing and battling right now. Prayers are appreciated. See link below or in comments. And it says on her picture, currently fighting colon cancer. As I gracefully battled this disease, I realized I got so much to live for, including my son, Garvey. See comments more. You know, I find it really crazy to me that, you know, people that are talking about going back to Africa, they leave their family behind. They leave their sons, their daughters, their mothers, their cousins, their aunts, their uncles, their nephews, their nieces, everybody behind. And they be preaching this go back to Africa, talking about meeting up with their people. And then when shit hits the fan, then they acknowledge their real family. Then suddenly they think about their real kids. They think about their real mom. They think about their cousins. They think about everybody else that they left behind. And now she's bringing up her son. So far, they have gotten up to $4,068 have been raised, and they're asking for $80K. And I think that is kind of outrageous. The person that's asking for it is Brandon George. He is organizing this fundraiser. He is someone I believe that had relations with our Cathy before. It says urgent, help Art Cathy fight cancer and come home. It says my name is Brandon George and I'm calling on everyone who's ever been touched by Art Cathy's fire, her truth, or her unshakable belief in our freedom. Art, the visionary behind GTFOA, the American who taught thousands of us how to build lives of choice in Ghana and beyond, is now in the fight of her life. She has been diagnosed with liver and colon cancer. The pain is brutal. The clock is ticking. But Art, she's still fighting. Why is this critical? Cancer does not mean surrender. It means time is everything right now. Art needs immediate surgery in Ghana to stop the spread and ease her pain, to return home to Maryland to heal near her son, access advanced care, and spend whatever time she has left surrounded by love. She's poured her savings into saving alive, or into staying alive, rather. We can't let her run out of options. The hard truth, this isn't just about treatment, it's about dignity. It's about making sure the woman who taught us to claim our freedom isn't trapped by a broken system. It's about giving her the chance to hug her son again. Where every dollar goes, surgery and care in Ghana, 10 to 30,000 K, emergency operation, hospital stay, pain relief, flight home to Maryland, 3K to 5K, one-way ticket, medical transport if needed, housing and living costs, 10 to 20K, rent, utilities, and groceries near her son, U.S. in-home care, 5K to 15K, pain management, nurses comfort. We're staring down to two goes. 30K gets her surgery and a flight home. 50K ensures she can heal without financial terror. This is how we show up. Art spent her life pulling us out of despair and into possibility. Now we pull for her. If her work ever helped you breathe easier, dream bigger, or take the leap, this is your moment. If you've ever or never met her but believe Black women deserve soft landings, this is your moment. Donate, share, repeat. Time is the one thing we can't buy back. With love, urgency, and hope. Brandon, George, and everyone knows Art's light. This is very interesting. Again, she didn't think about her son when she was in Ghana all this time. Now she wants to get back to America to be with her son. Now she wants to think about the people that actually matter. But I'm not sure if 80K is going to be the amount that we end up giving her. Just like with Anja, Afreeca, they asked for a really ridiculous amount of money in the GoFundMe, and it never manifested because people really don't feel obligated to give when you be preaching about Africa. When you say everything is about Africa, a lot of people feel really somewhat like, you kind of made your bed, now you're lying in it. That's my perception of what I think most people are thinking. Maybe they will give a few dollars. It's 4,068 right now. 72 donations so far have been given. But I cannot imagine a lot of people really giving up to 80K. But who am I? I don't know. What do y'all feel? Do you guys think that she's going to get it? And if you guys do want to contribute, please go to Art Cathy and look for the post and sign on, and you can talk or give on that platform if you are led to do so. Again, I really hope for the best for her. I think that she should worry about getting back to America ASAP if she only has so long to live. If that's what's really going on with her, she needs to hurry up and just get back to America. But, I don't know what the surgery entails. I have never known nobody personally outside of hearsay about people being diagnosed with cancer before. I've never known nobody that I knew, like right next to me, talking to them or anything like that, battling cancer. So I don't know what that encompasses really. But it's a sad situation, y'all. And I really feel for her because, cancer is not to be sneezed at. It's a really serious, life-altering situation. That's like one of the scariest diagnoses that you can get is cancer or AIDS. Those are the two biggies. Let me see what you guys have to say, and then I'll continue. What's up, Alexis? How are you doing? What happened to Art? Well, she has been diagnosed with colon and liver cancer. Pinky says Art better get a coach flight home. She's never going to see 80K. I know she's not. That's right. Again, most of us really feel some kind of way about all this bad talking about America all the time. And then the very people that you've been talking shit against every chance you get, you want them then to give their money and fork over to you to assist you to get back to the very place that you basically cursed. I don't think that's going to happen. Not to the degree that she's looking for. And if she's going to wait, she's wasting time. I just think she should get back to America ASAP and see what she can do in America ASAP. Let me see what you're saying. You said I was high one night and was watching a channel. I wish I wasn't high or I could remember the channel, but wow. It was a channel that one of our brothers had that talked about immigrant women and men. Okay, maybe you should slow up on getting high, Engine Radio, or maybe get another strand. You said also about white folks in America and be talking about we fought for this and that, be talking about stuff that was way before they was even in the country. All they say is we like they French. You said, I'm like the F that wasn't immigrants, that was American Negroes fighting for that. It was creepy. They be saying our land, our towns get flooded. I'm like, what the F? Okay. All right. So now what I want to do is I want to transition over to listening to Tay Tay, Travel with Tay Tay. She did a really big live yesterday, talking about her feelings in regards to Art Cathy asking for money. And she is not totally convinced that this is not a scam. You know, she hopes that it's a real situation for her. Well, she doesn't want her to die. Of course, we don't want Art Cathy to die, but she doesn't want it to be a scam either. And she did a live. I want to kind of go through a little bit. It's a long live. It's about 4 hours and 49 minutes. So we're not going to go that long into it. I'm going to skip around. But I want you guys to hear a little bit of what she had to say. And we'll talk in the chat room and see what you guys' opinion are about what you hear.
Means. Let me explain to y'all what that means. Come on, what you doing? Where is my... Okay. There we go. Okay, so let me explain to y'all what that means. Okay, so bail security. You all remember when Quincy was arrested, right? He was mad about that. And there was a picture of him. So he was arrested because the motion, the judge approved the motion for, I think it's called ex parte. The judge wrote an order, and Quincy was to be arrested and had to be bailed out, and that was a $2 million bail security.
Now she's talking about Quincy Boyd as well, because she was scammed out of $16,000, and she is pointing fingers at Quincy Boyd and Art Cathy. The title of this stream, it is, let me see, Tay Tay Travels. Let me hold on. It is Quincy Boyd and Art Cathy Gambian fraud scheme. So she's talking about Quincy Boyd first, and I guess he was arrested a while ago, years ago. She's kind of rewinding the tape in her mind about what happened to her, and she's trying to revamp this situation to let us know how easy it was for her to be scammed out of $16,000 and how Art Cathy played her part in the scam. As this video goes on, somebody came into the chat room that knows Art Cathy, and I believe he is the godfather of Art Cathy's son. So I'm trying to play a little bit prior to him getting on the live so that you guys can get a little bit of what happened in Travel with Tay Tay to call Art Cathy and Quincy Boyd scammers. So she's kind of revisiting what happened. So you're getting a little bit of history right here. So let's just keep that in mind. Let's go.
Quincy was to be arrested and had to be bailed out, and that was a $2 million bail security. Now, where it said that it has to be 2 Gambian sureties who do not have nationality of another country to depose to an affidavit of means in the like sum. So the Gambians had to, the two Gambian sureties who it has been confirmed that they are two women. So two Gambian women had to put up or show proof of assets and the amount for the $2 million. Now, I don't know who put up how much and whatever, but it had to equal out to that. So that means that if Kwesi Boy decides when it's time for him to be in court, he decides to come, leave the country, go wherever, and he's not there when he's supposed to be in court, then they are held accountable. I don't know what two women would put that up for him, but I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Yoga. Welcome, Atlanta, Georgia in the house. The Gambia is not easy and not cheap. You know, it's not. It was a little bit cheaper when we first got there. I mean, it's cheaper now. It's still better. It still can be better than the price of living in America, but it's not easy, right? Africa is not easy. But when you have people that come from the same country as you scamming you when you trying to get some peace too, that makes it not easy. Because real talk, there's some Americans that I spoke to, I have no desire to go to Africa, but they got money there. I mean, they got money in America. They're like, why would I go there? I'm going to the Gambia. That is, I can't live like that. There's some people that have money that have no desire to go to Gambia or Africa, period. Right? Now, what if many of us go to Africa and be on some, because it's not easy, right? We got this good heart. People are asking for things. You know, they got the children coming up looking all dirty and this, like, I mean, some people, but when Tabasco come, everybody fresh to death. So I'm like, wait, I see how y'all spending. How poor are y'all? Like, I'm confused. I'm going to say people find money for what they want to find money for. And I'm going to leave that at that. But they see that, oh, you know, the word is out. People from the West, you know, they want to save us. They want to give us this. So let's get them. That's the mentality. Let's get them. Oh, my dog is sick. No, I can't say the dogs. They don't care about animals. Oh, my grandmother's sick. Oh, my child is in the hospital. Oh, blah, blah, blah. They will say all of these things. And we know some of it is not true. But what do? We just give. Right? We just give. It's okay. But what if we came there on some old, you know what? I'm good. Don't talk. You waited 2 miles at. They call us 2 miles, but how many people come there and don't F with the locals at all? There's an American told me that she got some Nigerian friends and they go to the Gambia. They never had any problems. Why? They don't leave the resort area. They don't mess with the locals. So I don't know if we're damned if we do or we're damned if we don't. I have no idea. But African Americans should not be over there lying and creating this urgency. You got to get out of America. You got to do this. You got to do that. When they are living a lie. They don't have a house. They don't have a car. They don't have a business. They don't have land. But they're giving you an urgency. Come here. Come here. Come here. Why? Because they want to help you. They want to help it get themselves into your pockets to take. And then you get there, and it's nothing that they said it was. But they know you're not going to go online and say, hey, this person scammed me. I sent them $1,000. How many people sent AP and Jodian $1,000 to do all this stuff, and then they get to the Gambia and AP and Jodian are allegedly asking them for more money? Because what you're doing is you are funding these people's lives. And once you get to the Gambia, they know court system don't work. Or Gambia's court system don't work. They know nothing's going to happen to them. And if they're a man, then they know they can pay a little money and move the F on. You're just a woman in a country that don't give two doodles about women.
And I believe she's telling real tales right here. I think that Travel with Tay, you know, she used to be very hopeful. She had a lot of energy and belief and hope for Africa and going and trying to be African, calling herself African and all that. She was really highly motivated about going, and she really got let down. She really got hit in the gut. You know, being scammed by people that you trust for the very first time and the first chance that they get in her mind to get what they can get from you and then kick you to the curb is not a good feeling, y'all. So I commend Travel with Tay Tay for reminding us of her situation so that we don't run into the burning house and we don't trust these people that look nice and talk nice, slick words and all these type of things, so that you won't be the next one on the hook to get got. So I can only salute her. Let's go.
Sorry, but it's the truth. I am Art Baby Daddy. What? I and Art Baby Daddy left her in ATL. She was diagnosed in Alabama mental facility and he found out and took the son. Oh, wow. Hello, brother. I'm not going to say the child's name. I was blah, blah, blah godfather. I don't do scammers and cut her off. People in Atlanta knew not to deal with Art online. Your name is Ian? I've heard a lot about you, brother. Thank you. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for solidifying what I have been saying for so long. I appreciate you for that. I do appreciate you. I've heard marvelous things about you. That you told the truth to some people. I appreciate you for hopping on. Thank you, brother. Thank you. So, Ian, do you think, Ian is the baby father. I got you. So Ian is Aunt Cathy's child's father. So let me ask you this, brother. You know that there's a GoFundMe for her for $80,000. And she's saying that she has liver and colon cancer. If she does, I pray that her body is healed because I don't wish that on anyone. But she's trying to get money to get near her son. So, and feel free to not answer this. I just never thought that you would pop onto my live. Are there any restrictions to Aunt Cathy being around her son? Because when she came back from the Gambia to America, she was at a birthday party, but there were no close-up pictures. There were, she was just saying, that's my you see my birthday boy, happy birthday. She was never close. And Aunt Cathy likes to show things, show off. So I'm surprised. Oh, I sure will. Come on. Wait, is that it? I don't know if that's it. Oh, no, so I'm sorry, that's the referral link. My bad.
So now she's going to have the guy that's in the chat room, Yoga. He knows Aunt Cathy. He knows of her since she was with child, pregnant. And when she first gave birth to her boy, her baby boy. So he's going to hop on and blow your hair back by what he has to say. And I want to get to that part of the stream. Before I get to that, I want to read what you guys are saying. Let me see what you guys have said. All right. Let me go back up. Pinky says, Tay Tay did this video just to mock art. Talk about kick them when they're down. I think it's a little bit of both. I think that she's talking about it because Aunt Cathy was a real big voice in the community. A lot of people listened to her or were influenced by her as well. But she could also be mocking her a little bit because, Aunt Cathy, when Shakita Shinadu was murdered in the Gambia, Aunt Cathy did a mocking video talking about the fact that the woman got murdered and she was having a good time about it. In fact, let me find that video to reiterate the point of what Tay Tay had showed on her video. It's a short that she showed of Aunt Cathy mocking this woman for being murdered. And I think that she feels like if she could do that to that lady, why not have it done to her? That's what I feel like she's basing it off of. But look at what our Cathy has said. Learning about the death of a woman that was unalived in the Gambia, listen to what her response was.
When people have tried to shit on you, don't do nothing. Don't take them to court. I was being told my elders, don't do all that. Don't let these motherfuckers take your money, take it on the court and shit. No, spirit justice. And baby, when you see it working, you get to shout, ooh, yes. Bring them down, one by one. Down, bitches, down, bitches. Somebody else's sorrow is my victory. And if you know, you know. Because I really do have that spirit cat wheels. Motherfuckers tried to bring me down for the last motherfucking few years. And the very people that tried to do it, they are no longer here. They are fucked up and now they scrambling. Don't scramble now. Because until you do right by me, until you do right by the people in impact, money that was scammed away, until you do right by me, every single person in your camp that stole that motherfucking money, you're not gonna be able to keep blaming on me, bitches. Oh, you hoes really thought you were gonna get away with that shit?
Okay, so she mocked a woman that was recently unalived about a year ago. And that was her mocking and celebrating the death of her. And Tay Tay is just reminding us that she did that about that woman. And so that's why she doesn't have a problem with doing a video on her and talking about her fraudulent activity. At least that's what her allegations are. So it is what it is. You know, some people will mock you back for mocking. So it is what it is. Let me see what you guys have to say and then I'll continue. But that was wild right there. Let me go back up. All right. All right. Pinky says, I'm happy I'm getting people to stop using it. Conversation with anyone that will listen, even in a line at any store. Using what, Pinky? I missed something. All right. Pinky also says Tay Tay has too much time on her hands and she's making money in her YouTube. It's monetized. I noticed that yesterday. And Alexis says, so glad she woke up. Pinky says, Tay Tay is just not the brightest light on the string. I've watched her also. Okay. And BG says, I went to Mexico and Ghana. Okay, how was it? Anja says, kudos, baby. Good, yeah, keep spreading message to keep our people in them streets. And BG says, I'm retired as of this year, so I'm going to do a lot of traveling. I heard that. And Pinky says, I don't like Tay Tay. She's trashy. Wow. I don't know. I kind of like Tay Tay. She was kind of difficult when I was trying to get her to respond about Anja Afreeca, and she even said, I don't even know you. What are you putting my name in the title for? I was trying to get your attention, Tay Tay. I knew that you knew someone that knew her. XDMC says, folks, get your colonoscopy and prostate screenings. Early detection is the key to survival. If you don't have health coverage, a lot of these screenings are free at some hospitals. Just Google it. That's good advice, XDMC. Very good advice, especially coming from a man, because a lot of men that I have known do not care to go to doctors. They have to be almost on the verge of death before they show up to the doctor, and a lot of times that seals their fate. And that's unfortunate because you guys need to yearly go get checked. And I did my colonoscopy about a year ago, and I'm just a proponent of early detection and also taking HIV tests, which I wasn't that much an advocate before because I had phobias against taking tests, but I got over it this year. I actually got over it this year. It was a big feat for me because I was always scared of hearing you have it, and I was just like, I got to break free of that and just get over it. And I did. And luckily I didn't have HIV, and I did all kinds of testing. And that's what I suggest us as Black folks, especially Black men, please be vigilant and take care of yourself, because if you are sick, you can't do nothing for yourself. And if you die, you leave behind your whole entire family and your kids without you. So it's good to just really be up on your health and take care of your sex life and protect yourself, and all these things we need to keep talking about, because a lot of us have been trained to be very dysfunctional and ratchet and reckless and careless, and a lot of us are getting caught up with a lot of different stuff that could be life altering if you do not go check yourself out. So thank you for that, XDMC. Please get checked. Colonoscopy, prostate screenings, HIV screenings, everything, please. Pinky also says, I will be thinking about doctor suggested it. Okay, and BG says, it was great. I have been to Ghana like 5 times. I don't want to live there, but it's cool to visit. I have an American friend who moved to Ghana. Okay. And Pinky says, art is trash too. She showed her hand years ago. Yeah, I was kind of entertained about Art Cathy at first. I thought she was hilarious. She definitely could be a comedian. She missed her calling. I wish she would not been on this Go Back to Africa situation, because once I started hearing her talk crazy about America all the time, then it kind of turned me and I stopped watching her as much. BG says, Pinky, I used to listen to her years ago when she was in the Gambia, but I saw how she was scamming people. Wow. Pinky says, everyone chasing that YouTube dollar, shameful. And Engine says, the F, yeah, she's definitely have tethered ties. Okay, you still convinced. Yeah, our woman don't do no ish like that. Okay. And Miriam Howard says, who is in their right mind do this? Do what? BG says, wow, this is not cool. Engine says, they may pray for you through though after and be like, damn, that was effed up. Pinky says, when C19 started, I discovered all these people. Engine says Pinky was talking about the calling themselves Black term. Okay. Pinky says, get our people to stop using Black. These immigrants tether to us with Black. Yes, they do. BG says, I am okay with Tay. Pinky says, I lost a younger brother to respiratory infection because he refused to go to the doctor until he was time to be hospitalized. Yes, that's what happens. A lot of our people they will have to go to the hospital kicking and forced to go, like dragged to go. And it's not cool. And I'm sorry for your loss, Pinky. I'm sorry to hear that your brother lost his life because he refused to go to the doctor. Engine says, yeah, talking about HIV and other testing is important, especially with all these crazy tethers running around here doing things with whoever, whatever, and even animals. Wow, Lord. Yeah, you can't put it all off on tethers, though, Engine Radio. To be fair, we have a lot of Black Americans that are leading a very reckless existence, and their idea of dating is laying down with anybody that has legs and arms. We have to take accountability for our actions as well, and influence anyone that you are in close proximity to, especially if you want to have sex with them, to know their status and let them know your status, and y'all get tested together. And if they refuse to go do those types of things with you, then you don't need to deal with them. That's what I say. Pinky says, during C19, I was on YouTube all day. Those Americans on African continent. Okay. Engine says legs and arms. That's funny. Okay. So now we're going to get back to Travel with Tay Tay. Again, I believe what Tay Tay has to say. I really do. I don't think someone that's lying is going to have this vigor to talk about the same thing for 4 or 5 years. So I tend to lean on her to tell the truth. But she's about to bring on this guy. I'm about to fast forward it a little bit when he hops on the platform. And he's going to tell you a little history about Arth Cathy. And this is a guy that has known Arth Cathy for a number of years. So it's going to be very interesting. If you guys have not yet, please hit the like button. I would greatly appreciate it. And again, this will be one of the last lives that I will do in a while. I don't know when I'll be back. Dang, there's a lot of noise outside. But when I return, it will be on Sunday. I'm going to downsize being on YouTube for a while because I need to take a little break and me time, taking care of myself and enjoying myself a little bit more and getting off of YouTube a little bit more. But anyways, let's get back to this.
That is in the newspaper. All right, so I'm going to bring you on.
Can you hear me, sister?
I can. Welcome, brother. How you doing?
I'm remarkable. This is Yoga. Some might know me out there from the Passport Bros, Moonlight, traveling from the ATL, been all over the world, traveling heavily, practicing Muay Thai over in Thailand and other places. And Sister Tay Tay, what city are you from in the USA?
Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl.
Okay, you're a Jersey girl from the ATL. Now, the reason why I'm jumping on, I'm very close to this situation. They both know the Ian and Art personally. Met them through Todd Seeley. Anybody know? In the ATL, Todd Seeley's Raw Reality, the vegan restaurant over in the West End. I did some important things with her and got a call one day and said, hey, come over. I want to introduce you to some people. And it was Art and Ian. And she was expecting. She was pregnant then. At the time, met me and my lady at salon. But the reason why I'm coming on, I'm giving this real story because you're a sister from the land, from the homeland, black sister from USA, and ain't no way people gonna play on how they built up Africa to us and the school systems in America and all of this stuff. And then when people trying to go back and travel, and we got people doing this scamming stuff, this stuff marks me Africa. These young guys is doing it, and it's ridiculous. And that's why I'm stepping up and I'm saying something. I know people in Atlanta gonna see this and say, damn, Yogo's on the panel saying this because I know them personally, know the baby, I was the godfather. So people might have something to say about this in Atlanta. But the reason why I'm coming up, and they're gonna say, man, that's drama. Why you got into that? The reason why I'm coming up, because she stole from a sister from home. Not saying it's still in the school, but you gonna steal from us from home when we're trying to escape the matrix and go with Africa and live a certain way to escape these crazy mortgages and all these inflation rates and things like that. And then, and you're stealing from your own people. So that's why I'm up there first, Tay. So now that I said that, now I'm going to go ahead and give you the quick story. So over in the West End, Todd Seeley, I got a call from over there, met up Art and Ian. And at the time, I was in a documentary movie about black economics that's down in Atlanta. Had some big people, YouTube and other places in there. I'm not going to say the name of it to say the people or whatever. I'm trying to put the spotlight on that. And so Ian was a businessman. He said, oh man, this is your guys from college. Y'all doing this documentary. Y'all got major people here in Atlanta in it. Y'all got the ex-mayor. Y'all got the first black mayor, Shirley Franklin in it. Y'all got other people in it, major players, civil rights activists from Atlanta, current hip-hop people. I had David down in it. And he was like, look, this is what y'all rolling out, y'all putting in the theaters. This is Ian's Art, well, not Art's husband, but Art's baby daddy. And we making moves. So he's like, look, this is what I got going on. I'm doing this online. We're passionate about online marketing. This me and my lady Art, this is what we're doing at ABC&D. We start making some money. I hired him to do some stuff with business plan and help us market the documentary. We did screenings in Atlanta and other different places in the movie theaters and whatnot. Had major people in there. And because I met him through Tassili, okay, cool. And he showed me his stuff, and then my lady had some stuff going on with a hair salon. He helped with marketing with that and some other stuff. Cool. So Ian always stand up. Money left my hand, went to his hand. Boom, his marketing services, this and that. One day he invited me out to the Black Republican situation in Atlanta over there with commissioners and introduced me to some good people there. Cool. And coming back from that commissioners meeting, he was like, look, that's what I got going on. Whatever the baby head came, he said, this is what I got going on. I said, all right, look, I got some people that got dealership license and stuff in Atlanta. We go to the car auctions, and this is some of the things we do. We flip cars at A, B, C, and D. He said, yeah. And a kind of tall, big guy. So, boom, I took him up to the auction, linked him with my people because he had linked me with his, his connects and stuff. Boom, he got an SUV for the baby, got all that straight. And once he got the SUV, that's when things went downhill because he got an SUV. And he took the baby and Art, and they went to Alabama for the family trip. He said he going and to meet a family and this and that, and A, B, C, and D. And I was like, dude, that's a good thing. He came back from Alabama, and I personally did a tune-up on the truck before they went because he got it from my guys, and with him doing the business through my guys and buying the car from auction, I'm feeling good, happy for them having a baby. I gave him some cigars and some other stuff. He helped me with marketing on that, and I did a tune-up on the truck. So when he came back, he was, hit me up, came and rapped with me and said, the tune-up was good, the truck rolled good on the road, A, B, C, and D, that thanks on a good deal. Then he was like, I gotta talk to you. Like, I went down here and met her family and A, B, C, and D. I was like, all right, I'm listening. And just like the facade that people are seeing online, Ian was facaded. So now it's Ian, he telling me the story without me telling all that direct business. It was, he like, hey, I didn't know that the relationship was like that with the family. And he said the family pulled him to the side and told him this. I'm like, oh, they didn't even tell you in front of her. He was like, no. So, and she was always a riff with her and the family, and now he saw why. And so once they told him what's going on, hey, you just had a baby with somebody, she married with somebody else on paper. The other person on paper is an older Caucasian man that used to be on the television down in Alabama, the news anchor.
Now that's the big news right there. Our Cathy was married or still married to a white man who was a newscaster in Atlanta. That was the big boom, news that he brought because she's like Black Power now. She's all, melanated skin people, love Africa, go back to Africa and all that, when she was married to a Caucasian man. Now she's preaching and teaching this rah Black back to Africa. Listen to it again because he kind of speaks kind of quick, but he said it.
He said the family pulled him to the side and told him this. I'm like, oh, they didn't even tell you in front of her. He was like, no. So, and she was always a riff with her and the family, and now he saw why. And so once they told him what's going on, hey, you just had a baby with somebody, she married with somebody else on paper. The other person on paper is an older Caucasian man that used to be on the television down in Alabama, the news anchor. A situation where the older white guy, he in his 60s and married a 20-something-year-old girl. It was a situation like that. So Ian was like, she on paper with somebody else, but they been separated, been a stranger, whatever. I don't know. And she had been into a facility before. With them doctors, where they send you, when you act out in public, they'll send you to a facility. So when he got back, he's telling me all this. And he was like, and things have escalated since the trip from Alabama with him meeting the family and all that, things escalated. So me and my people was like, wow. Me and my lady was like, wow, because my lady at the same time is on Facebook, and I'm not on Facebook. My lady's on Facebook, and she's like seeing all the womb school and the find a husband and all of that. And she like, hold on, you know, anybody then when you find out information, like, hold on, this person is selling this online to find a husband and do this in the black love. She married to a Caucasian, older Caucasian on paper. But what? You see? So I thought this was a joke when Tariq, and I ain't meaning to do this, but Tariq Nasheed and Jason Black used to say this. But Tariq used to say this. He said, hey, there's a lot of black women out there that you're seeing online now. They on the black power, the black power, the black power. And they on the vegan and on the Erykah Badu. He said a lot of them had white husbands back in when in their 20s. But now you see them now later, they on a black love stuff. But you know, you wouldn't even realize, you wouldn't think it. They was against black men and the black family. But we didn't have the social media when they was doing it. And you know, right in 99, 2000, we didn't have the social media. And I used to be wondering when Tariq Nasheed and them used to say that. But now I actually saw it. I'm like, whoa. So me and my lady and everybody, they looking on Facebook at the womb school, they were like, hold on. We know and was just right on the back porch, you know, going through whatever, and he got to go ahead and talk about his exit plan because what's going on and all of that, and he didn't know all this, so he made the exit plan. And right after he made the exit plan, and some of us helped him in Atlanta make a safe exit plan where he landed, and he was in D.C., and he had help with the baby. And once that happened, she didn't know it. There's a lot of us, because he came, like he told me, he told other people and other friends what was really going on. And so, like, I helped him with the car. Other people, I didn't know until he left right at the end. They was helping him too, and they knew what was going on. And I was like, and we was all like shocked when all of us found out the day he actually left and went to D.C. And he went to D.C., got sisters to help with the baby. The brothers, the commissioner, the Fulton County commissioner down here in Atlanta helped him get the job up in D.C. because Ian's a government guy, political guy, all right guy, on it. You know, his marketing is genius, and he got blindsided just like you. So, and that's why I'm on this panel, because the same energy that you have, I had that energy. I got that energy from Ian in 2015 and back 2016 when he left and made the thing in D.C. Another brother, like, man, I'm happy I had my son, but look at what's going on. And he felt robbed and stole too, just like how you feel. And he got to go in public and say, and he don't want to come online and say, this womb school is a fake, y'all. This stuff talking about matchmaking. No, this black love, she married to a white guy on paper. Da, 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 da.
So he's disclosing that there was a matchmaking scheme of Art Cathy back in the day that he's aware of, that she was posing with the baby father to pretend to other people that she had a perfect union with the guy. You know, they were magical together, and that she was trying to get other couples to believe in her persona of having a perfect situation with her baby daddy, and that she could help other women or other men or couples to get what she got, but it was all a lie. And he's disclosing that right now on Tay-Tay's platform. Listen to it.
I'm living, you know how somebody living with somebody and the other person going crazy, but the person, because he got business and stuff, got a public image, he don't even want to come out and say it. But he got to go to his close friends and say, man, this is what's going on, so y'all help me actually move and help me get a job. And then I got a newborn with it. So the same way I felt for Ian, and he got a son with her, that's the same way I felt for you, Tay, and that's why I hit this link today. This is Saturday. I came in and actually hit this, and I said, look at this art stuff up here. And I was like, man, I thought about the baby, the son, and I thought about Ian, and I said, this lady, Tay-Tay, feel the same way. Let me hit this link. Let me let this sister know that, first off, we support her. We know what happened to you here in Atlanta. And we know what it is I know what it is to be all the way from home, all the way across the Atlantic Ocean. And your own people take it from you, and you're like, what? You stealing? Y'all taking all this, my energy. Y'all know what I went through, all the oppression, the stuff we go through here in America to save up that money to try to lead and to do that. So you know, Ian felt a certain way, and he stayed encouraged, and he had a support system. And that's why I hit it, because Ian, he made it. He kept going. Art didn't take him all see, he got running with the job, with with the government, and got situation, good sister up there to help with the son and the other family members. That's when we noticed the womb school stuff changed. Then this Quasi guy, and all these people came into the picture, and then there was a big thing of I'm leaving, I'm going to Africa, but she not knowing that Ian already went to certain people and said what was going on, and he had to move, and he's gonna make transition, and he needed our help as a village to do it. She didn't know that, so she was talking the Africa game to us in Atlanta, and we all looked like, yup, just like Ian said, and we helping them making transition, and she talking the Africa game because the Quasi guy is in the picture. Ian made the transition, and right the week he made it, she was online talking this, and this is the new guys, and yes. And you start hearing stuff like this. She started talking about this the African stuff and these other guys, and we need to be over here and selling land. And out of nowhere, she became a real estate agent, real estate mogul. So all of us looked at that. See, all of us looked at that. So we like, hold on, what was it? The womb school. Then it's this. Okay, now you going to Africa, and now all of us to help in transition. We all know what's going on, so we like, yeah, it's crazy, and man, we hope people don't fall into this trap. Now we actually seeing sisters fall into the trap. I'm gonna be honest, I feel kind of bad, but then people say, man, you wrong if you come out and say, yo, she friendly, she lying. These people being deceptive online, trying to make you think that they're in a loving relationship so you can sign up for their matchmaking and get a man. Don't even realize they not, the situation is they don't even have a situation. It's a facade. But now after sisters and brothers from right here from the USA getting scammed, it's like, well, we should have said something. She was even frightened about the womb school, and she don't even have a family. And yeah, she got admitted. She married to a white guy. He had to leave from her. He had to do it in a way like Tiger Woods, then like in a way where it wouldn't be violent and go crazy type. So yeah, so for the people that's listening, Tay not crazy. This is real. I'm a real person. I don't really want to show my face. I'll cut on my camera for y'all just a little bit. I'm a real guy. People know me around here. And yeah. People know me out here, and I know these people personally. And I just happened to get introduced to them their first 60 days when they came to Atlanta. And I saw all this help with
So that's a guy that knew Cathy back when, and he is claiming a scam that he knows firsthand about, where she was pretending to be with the baby daddy, and she was calling herself, teaching people how to be a couple or power couple or whatever like that, matchmaker and all that kind of thing. So she's very much a good hustler. And he says that he knew of her when she started talking about the go back to Africa. So, people thinking that could it be a scam about her asking for money, $80,000? I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think it's possible that Cathy could be trying to scam, or do you feel like this is her real situation and that she's in dire straits and need of medical treatment, need to go back to America, and that the $80,000 is justifiable or not? How do you guys feel in the chat room? Let me go back up and see what you guys have said. I appreciate everybody that has been here with me, and also that are my real supporters. It's been a long time coming. I have seen really high highs on this platform. I never imagined 6-7 months ago having as many as 200,000 people in the chat room, or not in the chat room, but after the video aired. I really blew up when I was talking about Trump, and I was excited about Trump winning the election and everything. And now I'm on my downturn. Now I'm kind of, I think I'm, shadow banned right now, and things are really changing. And I feel like maybe this is the beginning of me starting a new chapter and doing other things instead of being so much on YouTube. So this will probably be my last live for a while. But when I do come on, just know that it will be on a Sunday morning because I like Sundays. So just know that I will be back on Sunday when I do return. And when I do return, I really am itching to talk. I will be itching to have a conversation. And I will be every 4 months doing a live about HIV. I will scour the YouTube and Instagram or wherever to find videos of people talking about HIV, because I think that with us not talking about it is leaving us wide open to have this dysfunctional culture where people are just sleeping around carelessly, shamelessly, not thinking about any repercussions of their actions. And I feel like I know that those videos don't really take off as much, but at least if I could save one person from doing something stupid or one person to go get checked, but maybe that one person will demand their partner or potential sex partner to go get checked and maybe spares them from getting HIV. So that's what I'm going to do moving forward. I think that I've talked a great deal on this platform. I've talked extensively about Pan-Africanism, about Africans and about Africa and things that they don't want us to know about. I've talked extensively about people that have gone to Africa and some of their ups and downs, a lot of times downs, and how it ends in their conclusion. And you know, it more or less, it always ends bad with all these stories about going back to Africa. I really don't know too many people that are successful in Africa to be bragging about. Not really. I mean, I know ES has done well, but again, if she ever leaves that relationship, she leaves everything that she's helped build behind, and she'll have to start all over again. And it's so sad. Let me see, where was I? All right. And G says, it was great. I have been to Ghana like 5 times. I don't want to live there, but it's cool to visit. I have an American friend who moved to Ghana. Okay, I read that. I read that. Where was I? Oh, okay. I think I read that. Yeah, I read that. I read that. All right. She made a video celebrating someone's death, Miriam Howard. Yup. And Pinky says, Tay pissed about them stealing her money. I don't blame her, but mocking someone on their deathbed is trashy. I think that she just wants to let people know that it could potentially be a scam with asking for 80,000 K. And please hit the like button and subscribe and share. I would greatly appreciate that. And Engine says, yes, she's from Jersey. To first red flag. That's a sanctuary city, I believe. Who's from Jersey? Pinky says, and this man is a passport, bro. So I already know he's trash. Now he's talking about a woman on her deathbed, but I would not expect more from him. I mean, he says that he was the godfather of her child. So that says a lot for him to come out and talk. He really must have heard a lot of stories about our Cathy scamming. Engine says Africa has no land infrastructure. That's why it's called cheap. They slow. Little to no electricity and plumbing. G says African people still use a feudal system in dealing with land scams. Engine Radio says, yeah, that's second flag. Red flag. Smells tethery. Oh, Lord. Pinky says art was out of Black Stan and she should have kept her ass out. Now the ninja's dragging her while she's on her deathbed. I mean, yeah, that is kind of sad, you know, because I hear that colon cancer, if not detected early, is pretty much a done deal. It seals your fate, and it's already spread to her liver. So, man, I'm sorry to hear that she's going through it. I don't wish anything bad on someone's health. I've been through my own trials and tribulations with my health, and I pray for her. I hope it's not a scam, and I implore anyone that really want to help Cathy to please go to her platform and go to her post 6 days ago and go and help her out with a little bit of money if you have to give. G says Africa has no toilets and no sewer system nor any electrical grid system. Nope. Engine says immigrant men and women loves the pale face. They worship them, especially Africans. Yeah, I know that. That's why a lot of Africans like Afreeca is very upset that we are in America and we are American, because he feels like we should be struggling and scrambling just like many other Africans are. And he wants us to feel bad about us living in close proximity to white people as he lives in close proximity to white people. Make that make sense. You want to talk shit about how we live close to white people, but you up in America too. And you trying to make us feel bad, but you ain't went back to Gambia. Boy, please bye. Shut the fuck up. Pinky says very few black men have black families. Yeah, that's true. You said, what the hell is this ninja talking about? Yeah, he was rambling, wasn't he? Engine says, yeah, this segues into Only Logical channel. I recommend y'all watch that today when you have time. Only Logical segues into Only Logical. Is that the name of it? Only Logical. Okay. Okay, I'll check it out. Only Logical. Pinky says, if the baby daddy knew she was already married, why didn't he walk away? Why didn't he find out she was married on paper? What's the big deal? The ex is white. It's okay when they're attached to white women. Yeah, it is okay. But it is kind of ironic, Pinky, of her talking about, you know, getting away from white supremacy. America is doomed. You need to get out or else. And you've been married to a white guy. That is kind of hypocritical in a way. You said they like hunters searching for meat, white meat. These babies are in heat. No black man stands a chance. Oh my God. Pinky says, see how interested he was in what Art was doing? Yeah, he was. Engine says, what kind of art was it? And Pinky says, Art is the woman sick with cancer. I thought her name was very nice. I mean, I like the fact that her name is Art. You never hear of anybody with that name, so that is very interesting. Engine says, yeah, sounds fishy to me. Pinky says, 80K, I thought it could be another scam. It sounds like it could be a scam with asking for so much money. I mean, let's be reasonable. Why do people feel like when they go to Africa, that when everything hits the fan, that it's the responsibility of Americans to pull them out? Why is that the go-to? You talk shit about us living in America, saying we're doomed, we're delusional, we're brainwashed, we're confused, we don't know who we are. All these allegations and bashing techniques and gaslighting techniques. And the very people that you've been clowning on for the whole duration of going to Africa are the same people that you then turn around to ask for money when you're sick and when you're in trouble. That's an issue right there. We cannot and should not be expected to hold the weight of your failure when you go to Africa, when you told us that we're doomed. But that's what they're doing. This has happened more times than I can count. And this seems to be the going trend. Whenever anything goes wrong in Africa, go to the Americans and hit them up for cash. That is kind of fucked up, to be truthful. Pinky says the woman you thought was a tether. Oh, okay. And Engine says Mike TV actually did few shows about Africans actually breaking into and deleting some of our lost sisters that was living there. Those lives got removed from his channel now, though. Yeah, he was talking about Anja Africa like we all were, Engine Radio. If you want to check out that video that I did about a year ago, look it up. Her name is Anja Africa, and I talked about her at least 4 or 5 times, if not more, because I was really triggered about her situation. But yeah, she passed away in the Gambia. Another lady from the UK, Shinadu, something like that. She was unalived in the Gambia by one of the African men. Another, not from the Gambia himself, he was another African from somewhere else, but he was living in the Gambia, and he unalived her. And there's been other stories of suspicious passings of American women that are not really fully understood. And some people speculate that people might have been poisoned. So, it's not been a safe situation for single women to go to Africa because they are targeted and they are sought after by men who try to bully and control and pimp into getting their money and controlling them. And Anja Africa had exposed all this stuff before she met her end. Rest in peace to Anja Africa. Rest in power to her as well. You said they were breaking into their homes and stealing stuff and at night attacking them sometimes. Yeah, also, Tay was sleeping and someone broke into her place where she was staying and stole her laptop and other things while she slept. It was very dangerous for her to even be home. She could have woke up and heard something, and God only knows what would have happened then. But luckily she stayed asleep and she woke up after the person stole her things. Pinky says, we are the only non-whites in this world whose origins is from a first world country. And that's why many Africans are butthurt. And I really feel that many Africans, not all, but many, do feel a jealousy and disdain for us being in a first world country, not having to worry about deportations, not needing to go here and go there and go fly over here and go scramble over there. They want us to be in the same situation as they are, and they're mad that we do not have to act that way. And that's why this Pan-African talk is what brings about people acting that way. And like I said, when they act like they're urgent to get out of America and they throw all their money into the barrel of belief that getting out of America somehow is going to rid them of everything that's going on wrong in their life, they find out that that is just not true and that they run out of money. A lot of them become broke and homeless, on the verge of homeless. And then they have to go back to the very people that they've been preaching and talking shit about, the Americans. It's really fucked up that is what's going on. Engine says, yeah, a lot of the women on Only Logical be Black immigrants, but a very few of our people. It shows you who's really doing and creating all the chaos out here. Okay. You said Anja Africa. I'll check it out. I'll show you how it's spelled. Oh, you look at my title. It's spelled the way that it's in my title. Anja Africa is in the title, Engine Africa. And it's about a year ago. I'll tell you the name of the video before I get off. You said, yeah, those videos pisses me off and triggered me just to screaming, and the crying from the sisters. It was very sad to see. Yeah, it was. And burglary is very common in the Gambia with expats and locals. Exactly. A lot of them met a lot of the burglaries. I remember the arrivals. They got broken into at least 2 or 3 times. And I don't know where they are now. I know that Kiki Loves Nigeria did speak about the arrivals, but no one has seen or heard of them since about a year ago. So I would like to know where they are too and how they're doing, because they really kept believing the hype of this go back to Africa. And I wonder, how are they doing? Are they even in Africa now? I really don't know yet, but I'm about to find this video where you can look at it was a very heartfelt video. It was one of the most heartfelt videos that I've done pertaining to someone that went to Africa, because normally I don't really care emotionally about the people that go to Africa, but she was the one that really rocked me, triggered me. And the person that was killed was the name of Shakina Shinadu. That was a year ago as well, Anja. You can check that out, and it's in the title. It's Shinika Shinadu, killed by her worker for a measly £1,000. You can look at that video. And the better video that I did was a year ago, and it's entitled Anja Afreeca, Queen of Cautionary Tales. Rest in peace, Andrea Martin. And that was a year ago. And she is really missed. I really missed someone that really had honesty, and I don't think she did any scamming at all. She really believed in the hype of going back to Africa, and she started a business selling clothes, I believe. And she really was preaching and talking this, come back to your people and touch down and touch the soil and all that type of talk. And unfortunately, she succumbed to health issues. And in the end, she needed to leave the Gambia and make it back to America. And unfortunately, she was not able to do so. And so it's really sad that a lot of us really put a whole lot of emphasis and belief and faith into believing that Africa is just going to change everything wrong in your life and make everything just go back to the way it should have been. And people are really losing their money. They're losing their life. They're being burglarized. They're being scammed. They're being conned. They're being pimped. And so this is why I do not believe in this so-called notion of going back to Africa, because again, they're not playing fair over there in Africa. Those people on the ground are desperate and struggling, and you are their opportunity to change what is going on wrong in their life. And they're going to get what you got. And it's really sad. All right, let me go back up. You said, yeah, those videos. Oh, I read that. Pinky says, after listening to that baby daddy friend, I see no need for Art to come here for her last days. She might not even get to see her son. And if she does, his father probably told him a lot of negative-ish. Wow. I don't know how old her son would be. He sounds like he might still be kind of young, because she's not that old. So maybe her son is probably under 10 or something. Engine Radio says, yeah, Mike TV actually was helping raise money to help one of the sisters to be able to get a ticket to come back to America. Not sure what happened with her. I know what happened. She's back in Ghana. Passport Traveler got money from Mike TV. He helped raise money for her to fly back to America. And she stayed gone probably for 8 months or so, and she made her way back to Ghana. So, moving forward, if anything happens again, a lot of people might not feel, spontaneous about giving her money again, because ultimately she definitely is smitten with the African mumble jumble stuff. So she's back in Ghana though. Passport traveler went back to Ghana. So all that talk about how she needed to get out, she was sick and tired of this, she couldn't take it no more, she's back. G says, go black to Africa has really destroyed many people's lives by his rhetoric. Yeah, and he's another one that has health issues. He has a rare disease. I forgot what he called it, but he hasn't really been seen and heard since. Let me see, when's the last time he did a live? Hold on, let me check on him. I haven't heard from him in a while. Go back to Africa. The last time okay, here he is. 3 months ago, he talked about we are in trouble, pensions, Medicare, and US dollar will collapse. The last live he did was 2 months ago. Reaction to Roland Martin's State of Our Union address. So he's on every once in a while now. He is dealing with health issues. I don't know if he's in America or Africa now. I know that he was talking about going back to Africa after his diagnosis, but he definitely is not doing that talk about woe is at America anymore. And he was another one that was talking all that mess about America. And again, when he got sick, his ass ended up back in America. And that's what they keep doing. It's like, stop talking ill will about America, because you ultimately going to end up needing America when it's all said and done. You said Andrea Martin and Shanika Shinadu, rest in peace. Exactly. Engine Radio says she may have been one that died, may be why he removed the video. She probably wasn't able to make it back. And Pinky says, how long ago was that Mike TV helping that woman? It was about 8 months ago. Mike TV blessed Passport Traveler with money. In fact, I convinced her, I told her that she should go to Mike TV because he was a pro-American platform. And she went, and he offered to help. And she was able to make it back to America. And then after staying gone for 6 to 8 months, she made her way recently back to Ghana. She's back in Ghana with her husband again. So if anything goes on wrong in Ghana for her, she can't be coming back to us for money. I'm sure a lot of people are going to say, hail to the no. You took your ass back to Africa. Pinky says, we were never in Africa. Our ancestors were not from Africa. I just say I'm not from Africa. I don't know nothing about Africa. I don't want nothing to do with Africa. That's my prerogative. I am an American through and through. What is going on in Africa has nothing to do with me. That's just it. G says African people want white people back in Africa. Chinese people are breeding them out in so many countries in Africa. Oh yeah, they're definitely working on taking over. That's definitely what's going on. Yeah, I couldn't stand that back to Africa guy. He was annoying as F. I know he was. Oh, wow. What the F? She went back. Yes, she went back, Engine Radio. After all that talk and all that, viral video talking against what the Ghanaians do to Americans and how the women were treating her and talking to her and ignoring her and all that, and how she didn't feel welcomed and everything like that. She's back. G says, yeah, he got that reality check when he started to travel more and more to other parts of Africa. Pinky says going to Africa continent would be like a trout diving into a pool of piranha fish. They will eat you alive. Yes. Engine Radio says he moved back to the United States, I thought, because he was doing videos saying how he feels it's time for him to leave. He's changing his mind now about staying. Yeah, he can't make up his mind because, I don't think he's in a happy marriage, to be honest with y'all. I think that Go Back to Africa tolerates his wife, but he does not think she's pretty, and he's not really into her like that. So I think he makes up a lot of excuses to get out of Dodge, to get away from her. And I would not be surprised if he was committing adultery in Africa all that time that he's been gone. I'm pretty sure something was going on behind the scenes with that man about being in Africa for that long, away from his wife. You never know what a man will do if he's not around to be shown an adulterer. I believe he was cheating on his wife. It feels like that's what he was into. G says some of these African people put hexes on him, which made him very sick. Oh yeah, I hear that they can do that. I hear that they're into marabou, witchcraft, hexes, and all kinds of things that they don't like us to know. That's for sure. Pinky says, Passport Traveler has a husband there. He's African. Yes, he is. And Pinky says, yes, Mike TV thinks he's going to unite the African diaspora. That includes us. Yeah, I don't understand. He's always talking about we Indians. So what is that all about? And Pinky says, Go Back to Africa was one of my favorites. Was he? Wow. And Engine says, probably so I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, so I'm not going to drag this out. I hope for the best for our Cathy. If you're listening by any chance, our Cathy, I pray that you will get more money to make your way back to America to be with your son, because that is a very trying thing to deal on your own without, being around your son. Your son needs to know you. He needs to feel your embrace and your kisses and hugs. So I pray that you make your way back to America sooner than later. I don't think you're going to get $80,000, to be honest. I don't think that many of us listening to your rhetoric for so long about damn America and it's doomed and all that type of talk is going to get in their bank accounts and throw money at you. Some will, because you are magnetic. You have a very, you have a big personality, and you're fun to listen to sometimes, when you are being hilarious and all that. But sometimes you come off as being condescending and know-it-all and talking hella reckless against Americans. And the same people that you've been talking reckless and down and condescending to are the same people now that you're asking for us to reach in our bank accounts and give you money. So whatever money that you get, you're close to 5,000 now. You're a little bit past 4,000 now. I pray that you just make your way back to America and continue the GoFundMe, and do what you can in America. I hope it's not as serious as it seems. I pray that God help you out with the pain and the frustration of having, cancer. I wish you well. I do. Let me see. Hold on, let me read this. Yeah, your favorite? I'm appalled. Sham. I bet most of his followers were women. Yeah, they had to be. Yeah, and he has over 300,000 people that watch him. So Go Back to Africa was very influential to a lot of people. But again, all of them are coming down. They are, coming down with illnesses. And, the very place that they have talked crazy on is the very place that they're going to lastly want to go back to. And that's just the common theme of these Pan-Africans. And like I said, I am anti-Pan-African because it is a hoax. It's not real. It's a tool used to fool Black Americans into giving up money for falsehoods that are not real. And a lot of them are finding out different ways of scamming you, manipulating you, and getting over on you. And it's unfortunate that this is what Pan-Africanism has done to our people. I have been a proponent of elevating with knowledge and stories of what has happened with all these people that's been talking. So this is now, what it is. We got to be strong now and not allow people to trick us into believing that we got to leave America. A lot of people have attempted to do what all these people have been preaching, and they are learning the hard way that they're finding themselves in a very fucked up predicament. And so it's sad, but I'm glad that like Tay and what's her name, Inez, and many other people are now just speaking their truth while they're living in America. And it is what it is. Here is a video before I go I just saw right here. Our Cathy is not very close to her family. So let me play this real quick. So I don't know, maybe this is why she goes to Africa, because she's not real close to her family. But let's look.
I don't do this whole, and you want to get my and pray and holler and who died. No, I roast people like that for a living. I can't get there with you. I can't do that no more, y'all. I can't get on the phone and fake like I care about their sicknesses when they clearly pass over all your posts talking about herbs every other day. They ain't bought your book. They don't want to talk about herbs. They just want you to be fake. They just want you to be fake. I'm not gonna be fake no more. I'm not gonna do it. Neither should you. Somebody that will sit up and eat and pray over some pork chops and chicken wings in the name of Jesus, baby. I can't even share space with you. Because what you don't want is love. You want to sit up with fibromyalgia, diabetes, and everything else, but you don't want to talk about some herbs. But that's what I like to talk about, though. I may want to talk about sarsaparilla root. I may want to talk about fenugreek. I may want to talk about camel. I may want to talk about alfalfa. I may want to talk about burdock. I may want to go through the ABCs of herbs. But I can't do that with y'all. I can't do that. So I can't pick up that phone and fake sympathy when I know you could have reversed those cancer cells in a week. And I know that you're not coming to me for that. So horrible. So if you sitting up here Kojic, Pentecostal, any of them people that's stuck in the bucket in the shower and rolling in the floor, you're a little bit brain dead and you're definitely basic. So we can't even take y'all seriously at this point. Like people that's the way y'all handle issues. Once you get up off the ground, rolling and shouting, you get up fat, sick, broke, and still you have no solutions. But you got a nice sanctuary. Pastor did nice. We got the building full. We gonna be frying fish. We gonna fry catfish, but not tilapia. I'm sorry. We gonna have trout, white, but no cat. No tilapia. Well, they have tilapia. They don't understand tilapia is toxic. But cat, don't eat cat. No cat. That's how they be. When they still beating the tambourine. Oh, here was tambourine. All of that. No. I went to a storefront. One dude, they was in there pushing this girl's stomach that she looked like Precious, and they was kind of, getting a demon out of her or whatever. They was pushing her something like, geez, and the girl threw up. Well, of course she threw up. Nigga, you got two fucking raggedy mop head elder women pushing somebody's stomach like they crazy, like all types of shit. They had me playing my clarinet. Oh, people laid out on the floor talking about I'm healing from cancer. dumb shit. Some dumb shit. If you want real knowledge that heals.
So, as you can hear in her past, she's been mocking people herself. And she said why she stopped effing with her family because she was on the path of herbals and talking about doing other things that modern medicines doesn't call for. She wrote a book talking about an intro to breaking soul ties and womb cleaning. And she actually mentioned cancer in the video. And, you know, now she's going to need the very medicines that she's been advocating against, which is very ironic. You know, you never know what God does in your life as far as adversity and different things that come up to contradict everything that you stood for. And that is really, it's very, very ironic. I didn't even know I would find that video right then and there, but that is a video I had never seen before. And she was definitely talking as if she knew what to do about cancer. And now this is her situation. And it's really sad. Let me see what you guys have to say in the chat, and I'm going to conclude this video. Again, for those that have been watching me for years, I've been on since 2018, and I have been going on strong for years. And I really don't feel the same way I've been feeling for a very, very long time. Since my dog passed, I really have taken a hit since she's passed. And I'm going to probably step down for a while. I'll still be around watching some videos here and there, but I'm not going to allow myself to be consumed with YouTube as much anymore. I have talked about a lot of topics. If people didn't catch it, you can do follow-ups on videos that I have done in times past. Go back a year ago. Go back a couple of years ago, and you will see a lot of different topics that a lot of people weren't really attuned to. Those videos are still available on my platform. Please check them out. Pinky says, go look at his old videos. And Pinky says, I'm pro-American. That's what I am. And I think that people misunderstand me. I'm not Islamic-phobic against Africans or immigrants. I am just pro-American first. I wish for the best for people, but I'm not going to forget about myself first and the American people first. And protecting, you know, who we are as a people here in America. A lot of people don't want us to perceive ourselves as a people. They want us to feel like we lost, confused, in need of identifying ourselves with strangers on the continent of Africa before we are somebody. And I just don't vibe with that bullshit of thought. I am somebody all this time. I never stopped being somebody. I'm not going to chase my tail like a dog, pretending to be something that I will never be, to be accepted by people that don't even trip off of you. That's not the thing in which I'll do. And for people that understand that about me, then you got me, you know what I'm saying? And many other people still feel like, you know, we're haters if we don't worship Africans and we don't talk about Africa and we don't put Africa first. You guys are demented. You guys are demented, and I'm not going with you like an Afro think tank or all these other Pan-African clowns that are crash dummies. I will never allow myself to put others over me. That's crazy. G says so many people left Africa and came back to the West. Even the man who has the Jerk Soul restaurant in Ghana got screwed over, and he talked about it's a damn shame. Did he really? I didn't hear that story. Yes, Pan-Africanism is dead. Engine Radio says, yeah, it's crazy. I'm glad you pointing this stuff out. Pinky says Pan-Africanism was a one-way street. Definitely was. Pan-Africanism is a tool used to abuse Black Americans. That's just the truth. And you have Dr. Ericana still lurking about, looking to get people to sign up on her stupid ass demonic ADI to get money from us while they become millions and billionaires off of our money. We remain poor and broken. We got to steer clear, in my opinion, away from Pan-Africans and stop believing the lies they sell. The only thing that they're doing is enriching their lives, their personal lives, off of your dime. And then after the money dries up, they go find new people to lie to and get their money. And it's a continual cycle of delusion and deception. And I'm sick of it. Pinky says, Art, no matter what we say or think about you, I think you try to live what you thought was your best life. Take care of yourself. Yes, definitely. I wish the best for her. She's definitely talented. She definitely is well-spoken and brave to do what she did. Unfortunately, now she's reached another terrible time to face. What's up, Golden Brown? Our Cathy is still sweet as pumpkin pie, okay? Miriam and Howard says there's no way she could have been practicing what she preached about herbs and now this sick. Yeah, but even still, if you eat all the herbs in the world and you eat as perfect as you can eat, steer clear of pork and fats and, candy and all this other junk food that we eat and consume, even if you were perfect, you still can get sick. That's just the luck of the draw of the card of life. Nothing is guaranteed. You're just hoping for the best when you live your life as best you can. Miriam and Howard says, so sorry to hearing of the passing of your dog. My condolences. Yeah, that was a really hard, oh my God, I miss my dog. She's been gone now since January 25th. And she was my companion animal. She went everywhere with me, and that really rattled me. I didn't know how bad it was until, I had to come to grips with it the last couple of months. It's just not the same. I'm not the same right now. But, I'm going to get myself back together again, and I'm going to take some time to work out and work on other things that I've been kind of neglecting to do. And I will continually watch, certain things on YouTube, but I'm not going to be allowing myself to get so upset about what I hear as much, because like I said, I've already said my piece. I already let it be known what I think and how I feel about everything pertaining to these people on this platform. And again, we as Americans need to respect ourselves as being Americans first. We cannot allow Africans or Pan-Africans to make us the scapegoat of all the problems going on wrong in their lives. A lot of Africans like Afreeca is constantly trying to make us the butt of the joke, mocking us and making up shit to make themselves feel better about being Africans. They got a lot of stuff that they need to do for Africa, and they're just not doing it. They're not running up over there, joining military and being serious about stopping the colonization of Africa. China is still colonizing. Russia soon will start colonizing. You have America still doing its thing, and everybody else that's over there doing their thing. And instead of being worried about how these other groups of people are colonizing and basically showing Africans as being inferior to all these other races of people, taking over their own country and homeland, They don't see fit to talk shit about those people. They only see Black Americans as a way and a means to talk shit, to feel better about what is happening against them. But it's not going to change anything for y'all with attacking Black Americans. It's not going to stop the colonization of Africa. All the things that's going on wrong with your continent, and all y'all can say is Black Americans. That just shows how inferior to other races Africans are. That's the truth, Afrodamus, if you're listening. You are inferior to all the other races of the world. And the only people that you feel comfortable coming after is Black Americans. There's no consequence with talking shit against us. No one's going to really say anything against y'all for doing it. That's why you steer clear of talking against the Arabics, talking against the Chinese, talking against anyone else that's doing all the things that they do continually on the continent, stealing and taking over your resources, doing anything that they want to do on your continent. All y'all can see and fix your mouth to say is Black Americans are inferior to y'all. We're not inferior to Africans. We don't have to be bothered with y'all, and that's what y'all don't like. We don't have to listen to y'all. That's what y'all don't like. You guys don't have authority over us, and that's what y'all don't like. You wish that you guys could have authority over us, have control over us, tell us where our money's gonna go, and tell us what to do, and y'all can't do none of that. Y'all know that you are asked out in that regard. That's why y'all pissed. And on top of that, we can't be deported. The only problems that we have is when we decide to take our Black asses over there to Africa. That's when we're vulnerable. That's when we're wide open to a lot of different things that happen to us. And that's what I've been talking about on my platform. And I'm telling my people, stop giving up your position of power, which is still in America, where you're safe from having people attack you, having people attach themselves to you, and having people come for your money. We're safer in America, in my opinion. We control our destiny better here in America. And that's what Africans that are jealous of us, not all, but the ones that are jealous, talking shit about us, like Afrodamus and others like that, are mad about. They wish that they somehow could pluck us out of America and have us wide open to all their asses for them to do to us as they will. But as it stands with us, with the 14th Amendment, and with us having a birthright, and with us being Americans, y'all can't touch us with a 10-foot pole. And that's why ultimately Africans are butthurt about Black Americans the most. You don't have access to us like you want. And most of us that are smart enough will never give you access to us. Not to our money, not to our identity, not to our life, not to our choices, none of it. That's why y'all talk shit, because you wish you could, and you can't. That's what Africans are pissed about. But stay pissed, Afrodamus. Stay pissed, Africans. I know that not all y'all feel this way, but plenty of y'all do. And that's why I've been talking about Africans years ago, because y'all kept talking shit about us without anyone saying a word back. And I got sick of it. That's why I start showcasing videos, showcasing what was going on in Africa, particularly where you're from, in Gambia or Ghana or Nigeria or wherever else. Y'all are the ones that mostly talk shit the most from West Africa about Black Americans, mostly from Western Africa. But I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about y'all because I feel like y'all are not worth so much energy anymore. Therefore, I'm going to take time off of YouTube and live my best life. I'm going to give myself a chance to breathe and have peace that I have earned being an American, and not allowing you to live in my mind so much anymore because you don't have the power. I gave you power when I paid attention to y'all. That's what I was doing. Giving y'all power when I thought about you too fucking much. And I said, why am I doing this? Why am I letting y'all set up shop in my fucking mind when I have all the peace and power and control here in America and y'all can't touch me? That's why y'all pissed. Because y'all keep talking about building and developing Africa, but y'all ain't starting. Y'all ain't went together to do a GoFundMe to build a goddamn thing. All y'all do is twist your mouth and talk shit about what Black Americans should be doing for Africa. We're not doing a motherfucking thing. That's your answer. It's not our job to care about Africa. It's not our job to fix what's wrong in Africa. That's y'all job. When are y'all gonna sacrifice yourselves? Put y'all neck on the line. Put your skin in the game like that Tory guy did. When y'all gonna act like there's an urgency to save Africa? Never. Because y'all are hoping that we would do it for you. And we're not. That's the news clip of the day. We're not. If y'all not gonna do it, best believe we most certainly not gonna do it either. And even more, we're not coming. A few of our Black Americans are dumb as fuck. They want to be crash dummies for Africans. Let them go have at it. And again, when these stories come up about people having difficulties going to Africa, being scammed or becoming sick or whatever may be out there, I will report on those stories just to remind the Black Americans that we are and still will be safe in America. Putting all your hopes and dreams in Africa only benefits the thieves and the scammers of Africa, which are Black Americans that are liars, who are Pan-Africanists, and Africans that are living on the soil of Africa, waiting for you to step foot on the soil, on the continent of Africa. And by the way, I did catch the live of Mouthy Megan. Shout out to her. That was a powerful live. Please go check out Mouthy Megan live that she just did. My God, that is the type of passion and power that we need to reinforce our mentality. Like I said, it's a mentality that we need to have moving forward, which I already have. A mentality that you're not taking no prisoners and you're not taking no bullshit. You're not settling for bullshit. And it was a very powerful live that she did. Also, check out K&K Squad. She's been doing phenomenal on her videos, telling the truth about what goes on in Ghana. And what I find exceptional about her is that she's married to a Ghanaian, even after being scammed by the first husband that was a Ghanaian, or second husband that was a Ghanaian. She was married to an American first, and then she got married to a scamming Ghanaian. And then now she's married again recently with another one that's from Ghana. And she still is speaking the truth about how the scams happen in Ghana. And she's breaking it down on how they get you and she has like 5 different ways in which they scam you on 2 different videos. So 10 ways of scams that they get you by. You guys got to go check that out if you have not. K and K Squad, shout out to her. That is really, really good material. Also, check out Kiki Loves Nigeria. Contrary to people that might believe that I fell out with her, we had a little whatever, but I really respect what she does on her platform. And she's very good at storytelling and showcasing different things that we need to know, and also helps our mentality and understanding who we are with understanding how people are coming at us, including Black Americans. Please check her out. Also the one that I've been watching a lot of is Black Alpha Network. My God, he is on fire. Although he's an FBA and I don't really care for that, he's still got passion and fire when he does his lives. And he really tells the mentality that we need to have as Black Americans. We got to have ownership over our own way of thinking. We got to know who we are as Americans and not let people shake us and trick us into believing that we're nothing and nobody. He's a very good platform to get that understanding. So for those that understand me, I appreciate y'all for coming and listening to me. I know I'm not the best talker. I was never meant to do YouTube. I came to YouTube because I felt like people beefing and talking shit all the time and us being scapegoated and gaslit all the time was ridiculous. And that a real person with real views and opinions should be speaking her or his truth. So I accidentally came to YouTube because I broke my ankle and I was stuck in the bed for like 8 months straight. And I started watching YouTube and I started understanding all this gaslighting and all the people that were coming after Black Americans. Every place I went and looked and heard, it was all on Black Americans this and Black Americans that, and all this talk about our identity and all this talk about what we gonna do for Africa and all this talk about we lost people, we going down, our culture sucks, we bad people, all this crap. This is why I came to YouTube, to set the record straight. I wanted to observe and see what the fuck was going on. And then I started understanding different things that were showed about us. And a lot of that was lying. We got to be strong within ourselves, but I would say that there's improvement that we can do as a people, starting with slowing down all this dysfunction and all the ratchetness that's displayed. We got to turn that shit around, y'all. I've been working on myself for about 7 years, being celibate on purpose. I did not want to continue being the same person that was just running around doing whatever that didn't even make sense. And I got tired of being this person that was carefree to the point where I wasn't thinking about my health. I wasn't thinking about my future. And I just cold turkey just stopped doing the things that I was doing. And I changed my way of thought and my activities. I'm a much better person now. That's why I'm a strong individual now. And a lot of people don't like it. A lot of men in particular despise me because I have my own mind and I'm not maneuvered or manipulated by them. I don't go off of trying to listen to a guy because he's a guy. Fuck that. Are you a righteous guy? Are you a God-fearing guy? Do you have your shit together as a person? That's the only way I'm gonna listen to you. If you're not none of those things, you are dust to me. And I feel like us as women need to get our self-esteem up. We need to know who we are as an individual and only deal with dudes that prove themselves to you, prove their worth to you. You take them through trials and tribulations of proof to you. You don't give up shit to these men because they're out here lurking about and destroying a lot of women's lives. That's the truth. That's what I've been observing, sitting back, listening to different relationships that people have, watching different videos of a lot of women going through a whole lot of host of changes, getting pregnant, catching HIV, being domestically, being beat down, and all these types of things that men do to women. Because a lot of women don't have self-esteem like we used to have. And you could change that all around by changing you and safeguarding your life and having boundaries around what you do with people. And you can only do that when you are celibate and you are choosy. If you don't know how to do that, then you are always going to be manipulated and controlled by various people that keep you on the rat race of life and having you try to keep up with the Joneses of these despicable people that are not even worthy of your time or anything. I know my worth now. And I'll be damned if I allow anybody to be around me that don't have standards anymore. They have to prove to me, even being my fucking friend, I'm serious about my life now. And if they can't do that, I don't even care. Bye. Bye-bye. That's the way we have to be. And as an American, again, we have a lot of different changes happening behind Trump. I know, some things that I've done in the past talking about Trump, advocating for him, a little bit of that I kind of feel bad about now, because now he's shown himself to be more of a liar than a person that's of integrity. Again, it all changed when he outright lied about that white genocide. So moving forward, when I do talk about Trump, it won't be on the level of what I said in times past, because I'm a truthful person and I'm not going to be blindly following somebody that is lying or could potentially tell half truths. I respect myself now, and I'm not going for none of that shit. Let me see what you guys have to say in the platform on the comment section. I appreciate again y'all for listening to me. I hope and pray that when I do come back that I will see you guys return. I do understand that YouTube is shadow banning me, and a lot of people are upset with my support of Trump in times past. Possibly, I don't care. It is what it is. Let me see. Where was I? Let me go back up. All right, let me see. All right. Miriam says, oh, I read that. Thank you for saying that about my dog. OG has a link. Let me see what that's all about. Hold on, let me get to that. What's the link about? Hold on, let me see. All right, you have a link to building Africa's future without Black Africans. What? Are they bringing us up again? Lord, hold on.
But no single Black African. In fact, just one African total. From Tanzania.
Oh yeah, other people are definitely building up Africa. That's for sure, G. Pinky says, I just found out one of the doctors I follow on YouTube just passed. He was one of the world's best heart surgeons, and he died of a heart attack. Oh, wow, Pinky. You also said Afreeca trying to shame us for being what he wants to be and never will be American. Exactly. He's talking about we tethered to the white people. His bitch ass is in America. He should be in Gambia talking this shit. Then I'd believe your bitch ass, Afreeca. You can't be in America living under the white man's nuts talking shit to us. We been here for generations. You came here and your success in America was only behind the vapors of what we've done in America. You can't do what you're doing in the Gambia, bitch. You need to shut your bitch ass up. Golden Brown says there was a female fitness expert. She had a TV show for children with lamb chop as a character, and she was making breakfast and just dropped dead. Oh my God. I'm sorry to hear that. You said this is another link that talks about deporting people from the United Kingdom. Okay. Thank you for that, G. And Pinky says, sad after hearing about Art in tears now. I'm sorry that she is doing really bad. It is sad. G says tribalism is very deadly all over Africa. Definitely it is. In fact, there are Nigerians, I think a couple of them recently unalived in South Africa. And you got Afreeca worried about Black Americans. You know, you got tribalism all over the plan, all over the place. And they talking shit about us. Golden Brown says, yes, it was very sad. I always liked her from the start. G says Myram Gaines, or his real name, Amru Fudi, whatever, needs to go back in his country, Sudan, saving it, but he's not. You're right, for Black Africans hate the fact that we're not immigrants and we can't be deported. Yeah, they do. If we were on the chopping block of being deported, they would be so happy. Y'all got to know that. They would be so happy. They're livid that we're not deportable. They're livid that we're safe. But that's the way that the cookie crumbles. Y'all can't touch us. You can't have access to us unless we give it to you. And I'm not. And a lot of us won't ever. Pinky says, I don't really like her, but now at the end of her life, I can't hate. Yeah, I don't really like her as much, but I don't wish her to have cancer diagnosis. I really feel bad for her. That is really a trying thing to have to go through. G says the U.S. is deporting a whole bunch of Africans back to Africa, and they're crying and pissed about it. G says the Chinese are building Africa every day. Yeah, they are. Golden Brown says you a female and I'm a man. We're going to have different opinions to Pinky. Engine says exactly, sis. That's why we brought up the tether blackout I did last night on BSIA channel. The tether blackout. Pinky says, yes, but she's still one of our people. Exactly. Engine says, we're giving them way too much power, keeping them around our panels and channels. Yeah, you're right about that. And they definitely are watching our platforms. They're definitely seething inside right now. A lot of them can't stand my guts, but I always sometimes peek into the platform or the chat room, and I come in and I let them know how I feel. And I know that they know that I know that they ain't shit. Engine Radio says gives them content also. G, here's another link of another race building Africa. Exactly. And you said we can keep her in our prayers. Exactly. Pinky says, Americans, let's do something. Tether free month for July 2025. We won't talk to them. We give them no attention. Just ignore them. Let's try it in July. Okay. Good idea. Pinky says, I do wish her well. Hope if she sees her son, it goes well. I hope so too. because we all need to be with our real people. That's the issue that I'm having about Pan-Africanism. I mean, think about Umar Johnson. He is always talking about Pan-Africanism. He's always putting Africans on pedestals and other immigrants on pedestals, but he doesn't even know his damn daughters, okay? His real flesh and blood, he don't deal with. He doesn't even know what goes on in their lives from day to day. But he's preaching and teaching us about Africa and telling us that we are brainwashed to be in America, but his bitch ass won't leave America, and he got citizenship in Ghana. We should not tolerate that hypocrisy. We should tell him to kick rocks. Where is the fucking school at? When is that man going to be required to open the fucking school? That's what I like to know. Pinky says, we didn't need to hear that BS from you. Please don't come back. Okay. What did she say? Pinky says, you did well and you are appreciated. You did your share. Now it's time to rest. Thank you for that, Pinky. I really appreciate that. I was ranting and raving for a while and I was meaning a lot of times, but I meant well. I don't hate anybody, but I don't like people taking advantage of Black Americans. I don't like people shitting on us. I don't. So that's why I came for Africans, for the ones that did not understand. That's why I came for y'all, to showcase to y'all your own fucked up stuff, in case y'all forgot, because a lot of y'all pretend like y'all shit don't stink. Y'all like to pretend like y'all culture is clean and that everything is pristine and wonderful. Like, no, let me show you about yourself real quick. Engine Radio says, yeah, I like Black Alpha. I told him long time ago before election that he has a real good passion and a good motivational speaker, that if he just directed that in the right direction, yeah, he's phenomenal. He's a really good speaker and he can go on, and I love it. I like when people can speak their mind and have that passion for a duration of time. I have to work up to my passion. I'm a thinker. I think a lot. I don't really converse as well, but I can write pretty well and I think very well. Engine Radio says, like pushing who we really are as Americans, that would be game changer for him, but he's bought and paid for by the Black Boule, I think. Oh, wow. Yeah, his message should be more of American. This FBA thing to me is a hustle and it only benefits Tariq. I mean, the mentality of FBA is good on some respect because you do not put others over you. But the only people benefiting from that conversation of thought, FBA, is Tariq. He's a millionaire off of the FBA. And I just wonder when FBA is going to get pissed that they're not benefiting from FBA like Tariq is. And they should be requiring more of Tariq. He's too nonchalant. He's too laid back. He should not be. He should be required to do something off of YouTube. And nobody's saying shit. Nobody requires nothing of him. But he's getting all that money. And that's why I can't be no damn FBA. You was in them streets, sis. Well, a long time ago, Engine Radio, I was in the alternative lifestyle. I was a gay woman for 20 years. So I was dating a whole lot of women. I was with a lot of pretty types of women. And I revered women above anything. And I let that like reign over me for too long. And I got sick of that because I have nothing to show for that. I was not a hoe in the street. I was not with men like that. I did not let myself get ran through by men, but I did deal with a lot of women. But these women zapped my life. A lot of these women did a lot of shiesty stuff. And I realized that they weren't worth my time and effort and worship. And I had to stop worshiping women and putting them on pedestals like I had did in my 30s. So I changed that way of thinking and being with women. I'm glad that I've changed my way of thinking and my perception of them. Now you have to have a brain first, not your looks. It used to be about your looks, your body, your hair, your pretty skin, and all that kind of thing. That's all you needed to be with me. Now you have to actually have some substance and some mentality about you, personality about you, thinking about you. Your spirit needs to be pure. You got to be a decent person. Whoever I deal with, men, women, even on a friendly basis now, because I've changed, as a person. And it takes an effort and time to break away from lustful demons of worshiping other types, other people. Golden Brown says that's the way women needs to be, only with men that hold their own. If a man cannot hold his own, that's not the man for my daughter. Exactly. True that, sister. Merriman Howard says, thank you for sharing your platform with us and always bringing interesting topics. And I appreciate your work and will continue to support the channel. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. Pinky says a lot of men in our ethnic group don't like it when we can take care of ourselves. That's where that masculine, strong, and I forgot the third thing that they call us. It's interesting. Collagenesis made a comment on his platform about, someone got on this platform and said something to the fact that we got to deal with these Americans and kill off this and do all that. I was like, y'all ain't doing shit. You ain't got no power. You ain't got no authority. You ain't got nothing. You talking. You yapping. You's a bitch. They're mad because they cannot force us to do what they desire. Oh, well, you have no power, Kala. You have no power, Afro Think Tank. You have no power, Search of Uru. Y'all don't have no fucking power to tell nobody shit. You can't make us give us your money for your fucked up visions of Africa. And y'all mad about it. Oh, fucking well. Get over yourself. Ain't nobody giving you millions of dollars to dream up a lie of building Afghanistan or whatever else you thinking. No one fucking cares. All that yapping and talking shit about, oh, I got this and I can do that. Well, go do it. Prove it. Don't talk about it. Be about it. That's the transition color you need to be on. Talking is not cute. It's played. You're played out. You've been talking the same conversation for 20 fucking years that you even admitted to. And you think somehow we're supposed to respect you for talking? Come on. Pinky says a lot of men in our ethnic group. Oh, I read that. Pinky also says the other woman they call fit, friendly, and feminine, they can be like that because their men provide spaces for them to be that. Exactly. That's what they don't get. Even someone like me, if I'm around a presence of a respectable man, a righteous man, who's a family man, who takes care of his kids, I will be feminine around him and respectful around that man. Not no random man who don't have no responsibility, don't have no fucking kids, or if you got kids, you're not with the baby mama, you made her a baby mama, 2 or 3 of the baby mamas. You think I'm supposed to respect you as a man? Fuck out of here. You destroyed those women's life. You made their options more bleaker. You don't get no respect from me like a simp police bragging about he got baby mamas. He helped take care of his kids, making all these baby mamas all over the place. Because he got money, somehow that's supposed to make everything all right with him. Come on. These men are delusional as fuck. They gets no respect from me. Pinky says, yes, spread the word. Tether blackout month for July 2025, like we discussed last night. Yeah, we need to do that. That's a good thing. Pinky says, Tether blackout month, July 2025. Ignore the tethers. Oh, that's going to really get underneath their skin. If we don't do no videos on them, we don't acknowledge them, they're going to just lose their mind. Like, don't even bring them on the platform. Don't even address their name. Don't even have a conversation about them. When they come around, we block or time them out. Or we just make sure that they don't get on the platform. That will piss them off. But yeah, go do that. Let them know we the ones in the driver's seats, not y'all. Engine Radio says, I just found this channel called Ton Afreeca, and he got videos titled Why Our Cathy Must Go. Yeah, I remember him talking about her years ago. Pinky says, Black Alpha Network, Afro Elite, and Tyreek, and all full of shit. If we all had listened to any of them, we would be flooded with illegals with that vote, the couch bullshit. Exactly. That was so stupid of them sitting out. It almost landed with Kamala Harris being the president of the United States. Pinky, can you imagine if Kamala Harris was a fucking president right now, how many immigrants would be flooding right now, taking over everywhere? Oh my God. So for that is the very reason why I voted for Trump. And I still am happy about that part, because I do not want to see us being overran by fucking immigrants. So I'm sorry. I don't want to be overran by immigrants. Pinky says, now they're all claiming victory for Trump in offices like they did it, and all of them steal content from BSIA. Yeah, that's funny that they are acting like they did something. The ones that saved and spared us, Pinky, were Latinos. They're the ones that voted against their own self-interest and saved us. Shout out to BSIA for doing his content as well. He tries to help us have a good confidence about ourselves. So shout out to him as well. Please check out his platform as well. Some of the things he says I don't really necessarily agree with, but he has a good mentality and a heart for us as a people. So check him out. African Goddess, what's up? How are you? You said our Cathy did not lie, but her delivery clearly pissed off Gambians, probably because it threatened their tourist industry. Yeah, there's a way in which you need to say stuff. She should have known being there in Gambia at the time was not really the best way to do what she did, but she ended up paying for that. Pinky says, delete who? American women. There is a group of men from our ethnic group talking about deleting all of us over 18 so they can start over. They will train them. You know, they're just mad because they don't have no control over us, Pinky. Kala and all of them that allow that rhetoric on their platform and talking hella big and bad. Oh, we're gonna do this and we're gonna demand that and we're gonna disallow this. Y'all not doing a goddamn thing. Ain't nobody convinced of nothing. We listen to you because you are a joke, Kala. That's why I listen to you. I get a good chuckle from time to time listening to you be delusional. That's why I listen to you. Nothing you say I believe. And nothing you say will transpire. Ain't nobody giving you no money to build shit. If you ain't did nothing over here in America, we know already you ain't doing shit in Africa. Fuck out of here. Pinky says American baby mamas are going to be few and far between years to come. I know a lot of women are tired of becoming baby mamas. I know I never wanted to be a baby mama. I never wanted a guy to be able to brag about impregnating me and deserting me and laughing about it. These men like Simp Police love to bring up, oh, you a baby mama. You a baby mama maker. The fuck? You a baby mama maker and you talking shit about baby mamas, calling women hyenas and ghettos and shaking your ass and sweating all over the place, stinking and all that type of conversation. But he knows, and we all know, that Simp Police is a very, very ugly, disturbing looking man. We know you will never put on that video on your face. We know you will never show yourself. Because if you do, we're going to chuckle, and I'll do all kinds of videos about it. But you have all these words about Black American women because a lot of Black American women weren't attracted to you. That's what it all boils down to. That's why you're mad. And the only women that will get you or have you are immigrant women. As you said, you have baby mamas with immigrants because they're looking for a green card. Simp Police, they looking for the green card. That's why they settle for your ugly ass. Truth be told. Tyreek, okay, let me see. Tyreek is the quarterback throwing the ball and watches who catches it and run with it. Yes, he does. It's really, I mean, some things that Tariq Nasheed says is truthful. He be speaking truth, but also mixing in his hustle. And it's disturbing. Spread the word, everyone. Yes, July, no tether talk. Leave the tethers alone. Just talk about American stuff. Just talk about what we can do as Americans. Keep everything on America and talk about us collectively and leave the immigrants out. That's gonna piss them off. That's a good idea, though. Good looking out. Engine Radio says, yes, sis, exactly. That's what I said. Time their ass out or block them soon as they type in the chat. Exactly. Just keep timing them out. Don't let them on the platform. Don't let them have a voice and see how crazy they get. Pinky says, that's right. Tariq throws a ball and a goofy catches. Kala's comedy corner. Exactly. That's all you are good for. Kala is comedy. Nobody takes you serious except for those dumb bum dudes on your platform that are jerking each other off, talking about imaginary things that you're never gonna build. Y'all are goofies. That's what y'all look like to me. You said a big goofy catches it. Exactly. G says, I'm glad Kamala Harris is not the president. Oh my God, if she would have been the president, I would have had a nervous breakdown, I believe. Engine says, yeah, he better just stay behind that avatar. Exactly. We all know. I seen his hand already. I saw his hand when he went to a Jamaican restaurant or somewhere like that. He showed his big, tall, fat hand, and I knew he's a big, ugly bitch of a man looking dude. Not attractive at all. I bet you his eyes are real big. His face is all fucked up. Oh my God. Pinky says, working on keeping our young women from having the children. Let Beckisha, Linquisha, and Marquetta have them kids. I feel sorry for them. Yes, Pinky says, July 25th, Tether Blackout Month. Please, Americans, participate. Yes, that's a good idea. Not the Edward Scissorhands. Yeah, he is very unattractive, and he knows it. He likes to talk shit about me, but I've shown my face before. When are you going to show your face? That's what I want to know. That's what I want to know. So in closing, y'all, I really appreciate everyone that really understands and gets me. I know that I've been all over the place for years by myself talking about Pan-Africanism before it became popular. I started in 2018. And I talked about it from the standpoint of it is a hustle against us. And people were saying I was a hater. I hated Africans. I hated myself. I was a traitor. All this. That shit sticks to me. It only sticks if I believe it, or I cared about you, or I respect you, which I don't. None of that shit sticks to me. You can't be a traitor with something you're not connected to. This notion that we are now a part of a diaspora when we never been a part of a diaspora. People trying to act like we are one thing when we never been together as one thing before. Africans need to bring that attitude and bring that conviction to Africans on that continent or Africans that are widespread all over the place. Y'all need to be conversating among yourselves about getting this unity thing going and leaving us out of your shit. We are not you. We don't care if an atomic bomb landed on Africa. Not many Black Americans are going to bat an eye. That's how we don't care. I mean, we care about life overall, like what happened in Russia or Ukraine or what's going on in Sudan. It's the same feeling. It's not that important. People need to stop trying to make it our issue. What's going on in Burkina Faso? I salute the guy respectfully about what he's accomplished on the continent. But if something happens to him, I'm just going to say rest in peace and be like, who's the next person that's going to try to be this guy from Burkina Faso? I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to go stir crazy and act like I got to go to the streets and spill my blood. I'm not going to be all mad and sad. No, I'm not from Africa. It is what it is. And people trying to make us something that we never been is ridiculous. Trying to make us have loyalty to Africa when Africa's never been loyal to its own people. It's ridiculous. Y'all need to put the same emphasis on Africans about being loyal among themselves. Figure out all the traitors on the continent that's willing and able to attempt to take the life of that Toure guy. There's a slew of them. There's probably millions of them waiting for the opportunity to make millions of taking his head off so that they can have money. But y'all constantly putting us in the equation as if we are the same thing as y'all when we never have been with you. It's ridiculous. It is a sickness. You guys are deflecting. You guys are delusional. And we're not caring about y'all like that. I wish y'all would get the memo and just leave us alone. Like, let's reverse back to 15, 20 years ago when Africans never thought about Black Americans and we weren't thinking about y'all. Y'all need to get back to thinking like that and then transmit your energy and effort onto the Africans that are different tribes, different nationalities, different cultures, and unifying among yourselves. Y'all got shit to do. Y'all got 1.3 billion people on the continent that are nothing alike one another. And y'all constantly talking about Black Americans. It's ridiculous. None of that conversation about Black Americans is going to change anything about Africa. Y'all wasting time. And y'all look silly out here. All of y'all. But I've noticed Kala every night putting us in the title. All these Africans coming on the platform to talk about us. All in the chat room to talk about us. When is that bitch-made man gonna put Africans in the title to talk about Africans? That's what I like to know, Kala. How many ways can you talk about Black Americans, for God's sake? You look stupid out here. Search of Uru looks stupid out here. But again, it's a way of making money off of us. Y'all can't make money talking about Africans. That's really sad. It's really sad, and it showcases no one cares about Africa as they claim they do. It's obvious. Africans are inferior to every other race, but they feel like they're superior to Black Americans. And that's the only thing they got in their mind to talk about. And that just shows you how irrelevant most of y'all are, because y'all spend too much effort and emphasis on a people who don't have a connection to you, who can't change nothing for you. All we can do is join in the festivities of being scammed, burglarized, or unalived. If we place ourselves on that continent, that's the only time we are vulnerable to Africans. If we don't do it, we are not vulnerable to Africans, and that's why they are pissed. But that's the message, that's the memo. Keep being a great person within yourself, American. Stop waiting for validations from Africans. You don't need it. You don't need it. Why do you need it? What are they going to do for you? They don't do shit for you. They don't care about you. You might have a few that are decent, but the vast majority of Africans don't give a flying fuck about you. They want to take over your spot, is what they want. They want to be the ones with the label of the first Black this and the first Black that. They don't want you to be known no more. G says, for Black, do you think the film Black Panther perpetuated the lie of Pan-Africanism? Exactly. I hated that movie with a passion. And I felt like that movie was, propped up too fucking much. People were losing their mind over that damn movie. I was just like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? You said, what's that Mr. Rogers song? Mr. Rogers, I know the name. Like to be your neighbor? Are you talking about that? Won't you be, could you be my neighbor? Something like that. I guess that's what you're talking about. Golden Brown says they are having a march to keep the 14th Amendment just for Black American citizens, not immigrants, June 30th to July 6th from Chicago. Wow, that's a great idea. Oh, that's really going to piss off immigrants. G says when Queen Elizabeth II died, many Africans were crying and weeping all over the world. Yeah, they were. I saw that. Golden Brown says in Washington, D.C., in support of Trump against immigrants' birth citizenship. I heard that. Pinky says you will speak your shit elsewhere. Golden Brown says Danny C channel. Oh yeah, Danny C is another person who lives in Chicago, and she is a very good advocate about what's going on with the immigrants trying to take over in Chicago. Check her out as well. You said this is a link about child slavery in Volta region, Ghana. Oh yeah. I think I've seen that one before. G says the Ghana president sailed their children into slavery in the Volta region or Lake Volta. A lot of modern day slavery is still going on in Africa. They don't want us talking about none of that. You said I watched Danny C and Zoe Lee. Yeah, I watched them too. Golden Brown says I'm thinking about attending the meeting. Okay. And you said if you live close by, attend and film, please come back and share on Ronnie's channel. Okay. Yeah, my neighbor. Yeah, won't you be, could you be, won't you be my neighbor? You said, yeah, that's crazy about Black Panther movie. They place it in Africa. What Wakanda is an American Indian god. Really? Okay. Yeah, so y'all, I'm going to free myself up from being consumed by these Africans that are not worthy of my mind of thinking anymore. I've said enough. I've done enough. You know, you guys could go back a year or so ago and check out videos that nobody really watched a lot of, but I really was breaking down a lot of things pertaining to Africa, a lot of stuff that they don't want us talking about because they're too busy trying to appear better than us, trying to showcase all the things that happen in our community so that they can be spruced up on a pedestal. And that's when I was like, oh no, we're not doing that. I'm just going to showcase y'all community and what y'all do, what y'all partake in. You know, money rituals and witchcraft and sacrifice and babies being sacrificed, albinos being killed, and other things that they don't want us to know about. They want to appear as if they're like us, minus all the things that they do in their culture. No, y'all not exactly like us. Stop it. We are our own people, minding our own business, and we're not going to let Pan-Africans trip us up anymore. So if y'all want to be out here for Pan-African talk, y'all look like fools to me. Y'all are crash dummies to me. I gives no fucks to give and no respect to give for none of y'all. Sorry, not really. You said, hold on, let me see. What is that? I'll go back up. But yeah, check out also Tay Loves or Travel with Tay. The rest of her video y'all can check out. I know some people might not really like her like that, but I feel like she's a very relevant voice because she is telling the truth, her truth, as far as what has happened to her and what she sees and understands now. And she's not shying away with telling the truth. You said the Black Panther is American Kruger. Pinky says, yes, we are about to part ways for a while. I will miss you all. Please come over to BSIA and FBA Defensive Unit. Those two channels bear good places to learn and share. Okay, thank you for that. I might stop in BSIA once in a while and check it out. You said, or American Puma, all the same thing. Pinky says, but not your evil ass, okay? And G says they also do cannibalism in Mali and Burkina Faso and Uganda. And not to forget, Burkina Faso just had a Islamic extremist or jihadist incident that took out 200 military people that people just kind of slid over. They didn't want to talk about because they're trying to make that man into a messiah. I'm not going to make that man a messiah. He's one man that could be taken out at any time. And if that does happen, what are the Africans going to do? I would like to know. Engine Radio says there's this group also called Black Axe. That's from Nigeria. It started as a fraternal order. We just learned about it recently on Cis Channel, and they are hired to delete Americans and take land. What? I heard of Black Axe before, but I didn't hear that they were hired to delete Americans and take land. Wow. Burkina Boko Haram is still killing people in Nigeria. Oh, yeah. Oh, actually, I'm glad you said that. There was just recently Nigerians killed and let me see. Hold on. Nigerian killed for being Christians. Let me see if I can find that. Just recently, a whole slew of them just died. So they got a whole lot of stuff that they could be talking about. But they keep talking about us. It's really pathetic. I'm like, hold on, let me find this video. I'll play this video real quick. Yeah, just 4 days ago. Let me see if this is going to be a good video to show. Hold on.
In Nigeria, a new report says at least 36 Christians were killed over the weekend in an attack targeting the home village of a prominent bishop. The strike by heavily armed jihadists also kidnapped a priest and several religious sisters. The attack targeted the home village of Bishop Wilfred Anagbi. In March, he testified before Congress about the persecution of Christians in Nigeria, adding that the Nigerian government does little to protect the faithful. For the very latest, let's turn to Douglas Burton, manager of TruthNigeria.com and a former State Department official. Douglas, thank you for joining us. First off, we want to know more about this horrific attack on Sunday, and is there any update on the priests and religious sisters who were kidnapped?
Well, Eric, it's a tragic situation, and the story is in play. Actually, what happened is that there was an attack on Ayondo, which is the home village of the bishop for McCurdy, the bishop Wilfred Anagbe, who testified at a hearing on March 12th on Capitol Hill, giving a very strong, insightful, and unflinching testimony about Christian genocide in his diocese. And what happened is that Fulani terrorists attacked his home village, Ayondo, on Sunday, and he killed at least 20 people. But that was a conclusion of attacks that began days earlier. So the death count is up to 36.
Yeah, some of the stories that the bishop told that day were just horrific. These people being pulled out of their homes and just killed right there on the spot. Has there been any response from the Nigerian government?
Well, the governor of Benue State is Hyacinth Aliyah, is a former priest, and he has called upon the government to deploy all security services to stop this horrible massacre, series of massacres, actually. But as far as I know, no one has been arrested. The Nigerian military has not been able to corral the marauding groups of killers that have been driving their motorcycles into this area for 2 weeks, going really unimpeded along the roads in northern Benue State. So no, there's no evidence that these attacks will be halted. The perpetrators have not been arrested, so it's a touch and go situation, and hopefully the Nigerian police and the Nigerian military will intercede and push the killers back.
Yeah, there's been testimony, not just here in the United States, but also over in the UK, Europe, and I just can't believe the Nigerian government just hasn't been able to do anything out there. Does this surprise you?
No, it doesn't surprise me because I've been following this kind of action for 6 years, and I'm glad that I have a really effective reporting team in Nigeria now. The 11 or so reporters contribute content for TruthNigeria.com. But you see, the problem is the Nigerian army is really overstretched. It's actually too small. It's stretched over a 36-state area, and there is a very deadly insurgency that's been going for 17 years in the northeast part of the country. So more than half of the military is actually drawn down to that. Then you have across the middle belt states, about 8 states in the middle of the country, you have attacks like the one we're talking about here, and it's in several states. And then you have in the western part of the country, a more recent insurgency popping up there. So the Nigerian military really needs more people, and the police need more recruitment. That has been the position.
And where are these men that they can recruit? They have, over 200 million people in Nigeria. They got more than enough men that they can recruit. It's really pathetic that they can't get their shit together. But again, these same Nigerians that be on these platforms day in, day out, find it the only way to talk about is Black Americans. And it's really, really pathetic. And it shows their inferiority, in my opinion, to all other races of the world. And the only way that they can feel superior to us is to constantly talk about slavery, to always bring that up Oh, you guys are still slaves to the Americans. Oh, you guys won't leave America. No, because we don't need to. We don't have to. We don't want to. Why are you so concerned about what we gonna do? Why aren't you concerned about what you need to do for Africa? That's my question to the Africans. When are y'all gonna feel an urgency to turn stuff around in Africa and stop gaslighting and bitching about Americans? Americans who do not give a flying fuck about y'all like that. Come on. All right, you said, yes, Boko Haram is still killing people in Nigeria. In the Democratic Republic of the Congo, they beheaded 70 people. Yes, I reported that on the video. Ghana is trying hard to weaken the U.S. currency being used in Ghana. Yes, the dollar is not doing as well in Ghana right now. So people that's running up over there, assuming that they're going to be living off the hog with their dollar is no more. And there are a couple of people that are now talking about it being depreciated, their dollar. That's what we need to know. Yes, Boko Haram is still ongoing issue. African Goddess knows she lives in Nigeria. She speaks about a lot of stuff that Africans dare not speak. That's why she has a wrench in my platform, because she's a truthful telling person. A lot of Africans steer clear of shining a light on their situation because they need to appear big and bad in the eyes of Americans. For the ones that have low self-esteem, it works on. For the ones like me, no, it does not work. Why does the government allow them to continue? G asks African Goddess. African Goddess says USD is not good for African economies. Okay. Engine Radio says they fighting against religious colonization, which I kind of understand because we did same thing here at one point of time, but we wasn't on the type of shit here that they're on over there in Africa. Exactly. G says, then why do so many countries in Africa keep preferring to use it? It used to work out with the dollar. Now it's not so much no more. Engine Radio says, I seen that video a while back where they were chasing those Hebrew Israelite brothers through the streets over there in Africa. Shit was funny. Exactly. They could have been stoned to death, Engine Radio. The Hebrew Israelites went over there and showed Jesus to be black, and they got almost stoned to death. They were hit with stones and shit. I mean, come on. African Goddess says, because USD does not lose value the way African currencies do. Okay. Pinky says it's so bad in America, but they risk life and limb to get there. Exactly. You said this is another link of Uncle Ruckus. Oh, hold on. Let me see. What is that? But yeah, you guys, it's been real. It's been fun, doing what I've done. But I feel like I run my course. I feel like people that, want to know more about what I believe can look up my older videos. If you care to, you can find out. Oh, yeah, I remember this. This is interesting. This is a guy that is probably from the Caribbean or maybe Africa, and he's defending British culture over having melanated people come to the UK. Check this out.
The UK. I want England to be a nation of Caucasian heritage people. Just like if I go to Saudi Arabia, I want to see Saudi Arabians. If I went to China, I see China. England's not in what, 10, 20 years' time, it's not going to be Anglo-Saxon Caucasian heritage anymore. People look like me, and that's not going to be a good thing. Why isn't that a good thing? Because they're going to be bringing in an inferior culture. What do you do to stop the small boats? I'd militarize it. I'd tell the military, nobody lands on the beach. Get the military to stop it, and I'm sure they could. How do you think they go about stopping it, though? No boat lands on the beach. No boats would land on the beach. Does that mean sinking them? Whatever's necessary. If there's like kids, women on the small boats, they should still be sunk. No boats would land on the beach.
So here you have a guy that's from another country living in the UK talking down against the African culture and the Caribbean culture that come to British or the UK. You know, they have cones over there. They do believe that other cultures are superior over theirs. That's why Africans can't wait to leave Africa to go to the Americas, to go to Canada, to go to the UK, so that they can live a comfortable, convenient life that they would not ever live in Africa like that. Well, some do. Some manage to live a convenient life, the ones that live in upper scale existence. But for the vast majority, no, never. You said, and not just from the African continent, but from all over the world. Pinky says, Golden Brown says, to African goddess, Black African currency is stupid because money is supposed to be backed by something solid. You have gold, but you keep seeking paper money. Exactly. They're back ass backwards. Yes, fair use for all videos that I use for education, observation, information, commentary, reality checks realized, and lies denied. Again, I hope that Africans would not be so obsessed with Americans. Y'all been on this obsession for as long as I've been on YouTube. It's not a good look. It reiterates to me y'all inferiority with all other races around the world, because y'all dare not talk about nobody else but Black Americans. You guys cannot be taken serious when you're talking about us only, and you're not doing anything about the continent. None of y'all are running up over there to join in the military. You're not running up over there to lift up Africa. I don't see y'all talking on platforms about doing a GoFundMe to do anything in Africa. Y'all just asking for our money, and we're not giving it. I implore my people to stop giving money to Africans. Stop letting them lie to you. I remember Afreeca tried to do the scam thing, and I called him out because he's building something in Gambia, and now he's looking for people to invest in his bullshit. Leave that bitch alone. He is a hater of Black Americans. Don't give him shit. Let that bitch kick rocks. Fuck him and fuck Gambia. Fuck all the things that he talks about. Fuck him. You said whenever immigrants get to the West, they don't want more of their people to come in behind them. That way, a lot of immigrants voted for Trump last year, the legal immigrants. Oh, wow. G says white South African people own the gold mines in Ghana. Really? And Pinky says, we Americans are top dog. Why would they talk about people down bad like them? They need to talk about something other than us, because like I said, the clock is ticking. The scramble of Africa is real. People are being serious about taking over Africa as we speak. That's not letting up, especially with Africans that are running to the West. They are allowing these others to run to Africa and to take over and colonize. And instead of them being upset about that, they only see us. They only see us. That just shows you how inferior they are to other races. That's what it is. Afreeca, you are inferior to the Arabic. You are inferior to the Europeans. You are inferior to the Turkish people, to the Russian people, to all the other people around the globe. You are inferior to them. That's why you only talk about us, because you're hoping to get the ear of the white man to support you even further, because you are inferior to them. I see you. You would not do what you're doing in America, in the Gambia right now. So this persona that you're pretending to have, it's all a lie. You are a great pretender. You said Florida is now accepting gold and silver as money. You can buy whatever in Florida with gold and silver. Wow, I never heard that before. So I've been on long enough. I've been on for the first time in a while, over 3 hours. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, I'm going to take some time off to enjoy myself and get rid of all these ill feelings about talking about Africans and talking about Pan-Africans and talking about Africa and talking. I need to enjoy my summer. It's been a little bit over 100. It's going to keep going in the upper temperatures, and I want to get my body in shape more. I want to enjoy myself, join a gym, go swimming, go do stuff that I haven't done before in a while. I'm going to, take care of me now. But I will be paying attention here and there, and I will come back. When I do, it will be on a Sunday morning, as I always do. I will alert y'all maybe a day before I come on to remind y'all that I'm coming. I appreciate all the moderators that have been down for me. I know that when I first started on YouTube, people didn't understand who and what I was doing on YouTube. I think that you guys finally get me now. Keep y'all heads up, y'all. Don't let these immigrants stay on your mind. And I think July is a good idea to detox from talking about immigrants, detox from talking about Africans, and stop them from infiltrating our spaces so that we can get on one accord more on who we are. Because every time we get on one accord, they all want to bum rush and include themselves in the conversation and turn it around on being about them. That's a good idea. I support that notion. Shout out to BSIA for bringing that up. Shout out for y'all for concluding that's what y'all gonna do. That's what we need to start doing. Thank y'all for being here. You said, yeah, I hope Cathy gets well. You're right. Los Angeles County will be hot. Yes, it will. The governor signed it into law. Okay. Stage 4 cancer she won't, Pinky says. Golden Brown says it's not just Florida. There are other states doing the same thing. African Goddess says, oh gosh, that's so sad. Let's hope she sees her kid before she passes. I hope so too. So yeah, go check out Art Cathy on her post 6 days ago. She has a GoFundMe. If God leads you to want to give a little bit to help her out, please go check out her GoFundMe. Let's pray for her. God, please bless our Cathy and help her get more funds to help support her in her trying time of cancer. Please make her life a lot better and support her in all ways. And please bless her to see her son and see her family. Thank you, Lord. Amen. You said pleasant day. Yes, have a pleasant day, everybody. Please enjoy yourself. Enjoy your summer. Stop allowing Africans to get in our membrane anymore. We got to eradicate all their, negativity that they bring to us, about us, because they're jealous of us. That's what it is. Bless up, y'all. Have a great day. Bye-bye.